think they changed
I bought
the
it
logo.
too. I bought it. I bought it. Good move. Very good move. Very good move.
See it. See it. And we pulled up.
Did
We pulled up.
Did I miss that?
Yeah, you're
No, you heard the original one, and then they came back on.
And that's when you bought.
I bought. Yeah. It's probably the best part in crypto.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Valhalla Crypto and episode 13 of Shido Global. Arno, my co-host, is with us tonight, and we've got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about, so we'll get right into it. Arno, how you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good. How's everybody doing out there?
I think everyone's doing great. We got 12 people tuned in. I'm sure we'll have another 200 or 300 plus that'll watch this recording tomorrow when it is their morning and afternoon over in Europe. So we'll get right in and we'll get started. I know there's a couple things that you really wanted to dive into. You sent me some pictures and charts to pull up, so I'm gonna let you guide that, and we'll move on accordingly.
Yeah, basically just the price action that's been going on with the rise or the re-rise of the resurrection of Bitcoin and how it's affecting the cryptocurrency market at large, and also the price performance of Shido, of which, if you were listening last week when I talked about what dojis meant for patterns, and I predicted that the third week of this month would be where Shido will have a price breakout, and lo and behold, we had it right on the 13th, right when the third week of this month began. So those are the two things I really wanted to talk about mostly, and just, generally all the other aspects of Shido. Oh yeah, excuse me, the DEX getting ready to launch this week, I believe, isn't it? Thursday, I believe.
Well, we don't know exact launch day, but we do know it's coming this week.
That's fine.
But yes, no, Shido DEX coming this week. Tune in to the AMA tomorrow morning, or not tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, one day ahead, and you will definitely get all the details you need. But talking about that doji action, talking about the price action of Shido, so I got a screenshot pulled up here that Arno wanted me to bring up for you guys this evening, and I'm going to let the man himself break down this, because this was, I've never seen Arno more excited than these last couple of days of dojis and double dojis, and we're gonna dive into the whole Bitcoin thing, because it's crazy. I came out calling it a bull trap. I came out straight up, said this is a bull trap. Be cautious, be careful. This is gonna retrace. We're going back to 17.5. I made that clear. My standpoint right now is, I don't know what the hell this is. It's not a bull trap. It is literally, as Arno put it more eloquently than anybody, the streets are talking, and the streets are deciding we're going to pump the price of Bitcoin.
Exactly.
We could very well be on the precipice of a recovery that was not expected. We expected a small rally. And I'll get into some of my viewpoints on it too, because it kind of goes down to the Federal Reserve and with Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell's come out and said some very, 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 like, if you try to rally, I will beat you with Thor's hammer kind of gratuity. But yet market resilience is showing Jerome Powell that no matter what you say or what you tell us you are going to do, we are going to do the exact opposite. And the rally is on. So before I dive into that and we really get into Bitcoin, tell us what blew your mind and what got you so excited about this chart, Arno.
Well, if we go back a month ago, I noticed that the close of December, we established a doji pattern. And what a doji pattern is when your top and your bottom essentially match, and then you have price indecision in the middle. Now, it's not an indicator itself. It's based upon the preceding price action that led into the doji. So if you had an uptrend, then there's a good chance that you would be leading into a price breakout the following period on that doji. Conversely, if you had a downtrend going into a doji, it's a chance that you might have a downward price action. And again, a doji, what it really is, it's just price indecision. when you have price action and then the market gets to a point to where you reach a high and you reach a low and then you recover and then you basically consolidate for an entire period and you don't know what you really want to do. And then it's all predicated on what happened before and going forward. This is why, as Valhalla zooms in, if you guys can see the second candle to the right, that's December. That's a doji candle. That red candle in the middle. And dojis can be red or green. And don't let the color means nothing. It's about the pattern coming into the next candle. Now, what you can see here is we consolidated essentially for the first part of January. And I felt that the third week of this month was going to be when we had a price breakout on Shido. And 13th, this past Friday, right on the dot. There you see it. If you scroll up Valhalla, scroll up a little bit at the top. So we can get that top end up there. Yeah. You can see we've already exceeded from the previous month on that doji candle. And this price action has only taken place in the last, I believe, I want to say 4 days, Valhalla. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, now Tuesday. So yeah. The last few days, all that price action you're seeing, that green candle, that's all in a span of a couple of days for this month. And we've already equaled that high. Now we've pumped down from there. Now what we have to do is we have to match that candle before the end of this month, coming into February, for even bigger price breakout going into the next month. I think we're going to do it. That's just my personal.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that exact point you made, because there's a couple things lining up here this week that is going to make that an insanely bullish. So Shido Dex, right? So Shido Dex has been on testnet now for about 2.5 weeks, roughly, which is fantastic because they've been able to test every aspect to ensure that when it officially hits mainnet, everything is working flawlessly. There's no issues. There's no last minute, oh crap, we got to fix this. We got to take it off mainnet. Because the last thing you want to do is pull a decentralized exchange off mainnet to fix something that you should have caught before you went to testnet. So the fact that we've been in testnet now for a little over 2 weeks, I understand the community's anxious. You guys want the utility, you want it live, mainly because we want to start seeing that 30% revenue burn. It's coming. It's coming this week. Now, with that, when Arno's talking about how we need to match this candle you see on my screen right here, well, what's a better way to match that than to drop probably one of the most innovative dexes the crypto space has seen since PancakeSwap and Uniswap, in my opinion. I mean, how do you feel about that, Arno?
I think that's exactly spot on. But I also want to let everybody watching at home understand that the price action that's going on right now is organic. This has nothing to do with the utility. We haven't reached everything with Shido right now has been completely what I've been talking about before in the beginning when we start doing these podcasts. Speculative buying. All this is speculative buying. We haven't even gotten to the point to where we're going to even have utility being the fundamental reason why the price is going up through utility stress, along with all the various governance and utility responsibilities the token will be responsible for. Now, you drop Shido to the middle of this situation with this doji pattern, along with all the speculative buying going on. I don't know what else to tell you if you can't see what's about to happen. I'm not talking to you, Val. I'm just talking about anybody that you would explain this to. That's what I've been telling people in my private life when I show them all this. They go like, huh? All they care about is just seeing a price. But I'm telling you, when Shido Dex goes live and those 30% burns begin to take weight, and I'm not talking about instantaneously, but over the weight and the wealth of what it's going to be over time, it's going to have a tremendous impact. Because again, going back to last week's cast, remember the price that we have. I hate this. It's funny. Today's price is definitely not last week's price. Okay,
and it's not. That's the thing.
The price we had last week, and we were doing calculations, and I made it apparent to people, and people weren't taking into consideration. If Shido Dex just produces $1 million of revenue, remember, not volume, revenue, and you apply 30% to that, that's $300,000 to go towards buying back the token. At that time last week, that was fetching 3 billion tokens. At this time now, that is fetching 1.7 billion. Okay, people, that's a weak change, and that price differential we just had over a couple of days squeezed that price differential up that quickly and that ginormously. Understand that when the dollar amount is chasing after fewer tokens, that means the price is going up. In order to keep getting that same allotment, you have to have more revenue coming in, which invariably increases the price of the token itself anyway. So you get where I'm going with this, people. Okay. Okay. There's a significant supply. My man Mo made a good term in our chat room today. A supply shock is happening as we speak. The chart supports it. The organic stuff that's going around in the crypto space supports it, which brings me back to what's going on with Bitcoin and what's going on with that. If you want to bring that chart up, let's tie this all in with that on the greater, bigger picture of the cryptocurrency market at whole and what's going on with that pattern
Let's bring in Big Daddy Bitcoin. Give me just a second here. Let's go ahead. All right, let's talk about Big Daddy BTC, baby.
Yeah. And again, this is what Valhalla was talking about. He's never seen me this excited before. And I'm not a guy that's really given to being, giddy and excited about things, but I rarely see patterns like this very often, especially on high-end cryptos like BTC. I haven't seen what we have here is a double doji, people, on a daily. This is a day-to-day pattern chart here, meaning every candle represents 1 day of action, people. And if you people remember what a doji is, remember it's a price indecision but this is on a day-to-day pattern. And anybody that's in crypto pretty much knows that Bitcoin has been rumbling over the last several days. It's been riding overbought. Yes, people. If you can zoom down Valhalla to where it shows, I have it. I think I sent you the overbought portion of the snapshot.
Yeah, give it just a second to refresh on your end. It's in down
okay. It's cool. It's been riding overbought basically for the last 7-8 days. And what that means is that you're completely 100% over your natural resistance line, meaning that the price should be coming back and retracing. But this is going back. But what gave me the clue that we were not going to probably pull back is look at that white line that I have marked out right there. That's the moving average over that time period. It's moving up to match the spot price, people. The average, that means the moving average, the totality of all the moving average price of Bitcoin is moving up to match the current spot price. That's a support. That's a signal of support changing. That's what gave me the idea that Bitcoin is not going to retrace. And I said to my friends, like, give it a couple of days because I believe the streets are talking. I've been out looking on the internet, looking on YouTube. NBC's been talking about this. You've even got, like I said, you've even got John, Dak, and Danny at 7-Eleven talking about it. Okay, when people of all walks of life are talking about Bitcoin, the last time I saw this was around 2017 when we went from $4,000 to $20,000 in about a month and a half. The last time I saw a double doji on Bitcoin was 2017 when we went from $4,000 to $20,000. That's when I first got into crypto. If you go back and look, if you really want to be a research-aholic, get on TradingView, get on Bitcoin's chart, pan that bitch back all the way back to 2017, and look closely between the months of November and January, and you will see various doji patterns on Bitcoin where you have these indecisions followed by a price spike, indecision, price spike, indecision, price spike, and they were constant during that time. What we have right here is we have a double doji that was established in the last 3 days. We have a doji, then we have a price breakout. We have a doji, then we have a price breakout. And it's stabilizing. And keep in mind, this entire time, if you look at the previous patterns here, Bitcoin is extraordinarily overbought, and it does not matter. Patterns are patterns. But when people decide to push a price, it doesn't matter what the pattern is. It doesn't matter. When you have people believing in something, they will push it to the moon. And I'm not saying Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million or anything like that, but I do not believe a retracement's coming. And then on top of that, too, if you look closely at the lower yellow circle, that is what's known as the moving average support differential. And what that means is basically, to keep it simple, if that line is pointing downwards, that's an indicator that your price is getting ready to plummet. I have various charts to where I could show you absolute comparisons to where this is true. I followed two projects that had the same similar patterns that Valhalla has seen, and to a T, they match every single time. It's inescapable. But when that line begins to turn up, that's an indicator that your price is getting ready to stabilize and find new support levels. Now, why this matters? Bitcoin still maintains 41% market dominance, meaning that it has so many peggings. Valhalla knows this as well as I do. You go on Dex Tools, you type in Bitcoin, you'll see a myriad of peggings to Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up. That means the price against all those peggings now have higher differentials, meaning that they'll soak up much more tokens, thus bringing the tokens that they're pegged up to more. Why this matters? ETH, BEP are our token peggings against Shido. They're pegged to Bitcoin also. They go up, they fetch higher prices, thus they fetch higher prices against our token. This is why this is a big thing for us going forward from an organic point of view from the cryptocurrency marketplace at whole, because I think we are in the midst of a recovery. There's no way to really lock that in and make it fact, but in my opinion, based on what I am seeing from these charts, I would say a recovery is good. I was already of the mind that the cryptocurrency market cap was going to recover in the first quarter of the year anyway. I thought it would be in March. I had no idea. Hey, you told me January, I'd be like, I don't know about January, but March definitely. Well, here we are, and this is happening. And the streets are definitely talking. So, and keep in mind, we have to get back to $4.3 trillion for a full recovery in this market. And our token, Shido, was never part of the major drain. I think Shido launched when the cryptocurrency market cap was around what? 1.7 trillion. So we weren't really part of the major drainage of this market. And we weren't on any exchanges. We weren't on any type of, involved. There was no one holding bags that are 65% in the negative, unless you've been buying, absolute tops and then, selling it for a loss and then coming back and buying up. I mean, God knows if you've been doing that, then God bless you. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you if you've been doing that. That's not really good strategy. But generally speaking, your main hardcore holders are not missing 65% of their initial investment. No one is. I know I'm not. So this to me signifies that Shido itself will be going on its own personal bull run while the market is going on its recovery. And that's true of any other cryptocurrency that may have launched post major drainage of the market. So the market has to fully, and remember, a recovery is just people who are holding bags in the negative, who are DCAing in while new money's coming in, and then eventual big money, to the point to where you get to a point to where you recovered your losses, and now you're whole. And now it gets to a point to, okay, do we have market capitulation? Do we have the belief that we should go ahead and put more money in excess of what we've already gotten back? That's when you get your bull run. That is the nature of what a recovery is and what a bull run is. So we have to get back to that 4.3 trillion. But in doing so, with Shido being where we're at, we are 100% organically positioned to attribute value from that because of the peggings to BEP and ERC, which will invariably go up and then have a much higher fetching power against the Shido price, because they'll be much more powerful. They'll have higher powerful purchasing power against our token. This is to say nothing of what's going on with the DEX and anything that has to do with the utility reasons why we'll go up in price. So A lot of moving parts here. A lot of things are going on in the cryptocurrency space and in Shadow all at the same time, and it's a beautiful thing to see, and I'm excited. So I'll pass it back to you.
No, man, I couldn't say any better than how you've worded that right there. It's right here. David Evans put BTC triggered a parabolic SAR last week in conjunction with a long-term trend line touch. Absolutely, it triggered something in the markets. But when we go back to, and I want to play this here, when you're talking about, the streets are talking about this, right? Mainstream media is talking about Bitcoin. This has not happened in 9 goddamn months. 9 months. 9 months. It has been nothing but bearish, negative talk. And this right here, Bitcoin breaks over 21,000. Now, I bet you when we listen to this, there's going to be fear, there's going to be uncertainty, there's going to be, oh my God, it's a bull trap. But what we have noticed, and what Arno has so perfectly articulated tonight, is it's not a bull trap. This is literally the street saying we're gonna pump this shit. We don't care. And if we go back to this chart right here before I play this video, that right there and this right here, that white line up top, those two indicators, we're establishing a new trend. This in all rights should have tanked. It should have dropped and retraced back down to 17.5. No exception. But the market is the bulls are tired of the bears. To say it in the easiest way, they are done with this bear market. The bulls are ready to go, and we're outpacing the bears, and the bears just can't hold. They can't hold the price down. Their time is done. We are looking at the recovery. So
I also want to point out.
Go ahead.
Just before you click over, I want to point out if you can click back to the chart real quick. I wanted to point out why it should have been dumping.
Yeah, hang on one second here.
Okay, cool. My bad. I should have covered. I don't know if I covered this when I was talking, but if you can zoom back in at the top there, at the double dojis,
yep,
on BTC. There, yeah. If you people can see the blue line there, that's the average. So that's the average resistance differential, and when you get above that, that signifies a price downturn, which is why you got your doji right there. That doji right there should have been the retracement, but as you can see, doji established price breakout. Doji established price breakout on the next one, and if you can see there closely on the final candle, we are now in a new resistance pattern. We're no longer above it now. That's changing. You people see that blue line? That means you're challenging. And if you can go down to the yellow line, the moving average resistance support is moving upwards. It's like a channel. Basically, you keep your candles in this channel, you grow. You get outside the channel, you dump, typically. But if the market believes in it, they'll push it and create another channel. They'll just go ahead and just create another channel. Because look at all these candles. Bitcoin's been riding overbought for at least 9 days straight. Easy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that major brick candle. It's just ridiculously overbought. Should have pumped down. Should have dumped down days ago, a week ago. But it's not. It's not. Look at all the indicators. All the indicators are moving up to meet the spot price, people. They're moving up. Okay. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay, but the streets are talking, man. People believe in this, and I believe the recovery has begun. I can't prove it. Just my personal belief, not financial advice. But the indicators that I use, and they've served me well in the past. They've served me well. They've never lied to me before. I think we're in a recovery. So I pass it back to you, Val.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Hey, do me a quick favor. When we're swapping mics, if you can mute yours, just because my mic will do feedback on your end, and I guess hearing it in chat. So we'll just kind of mute each other as we're talking. That way, we don't get any feedback. But no, the way Arno's putting that is 100% spot on. I mean, this chart's ludicrous. I was 100%. Excuse me. I was in 100% stance. This was a bull trap. I said it. Man, I said it so many times. I was getting so much heat and flack from our personal group because I was like, "Nah, bro, nah. It's a bull trap. It is not a bull run. It's not a recovery." I'm changing my tune. I'm changing my stance. I firmly believe this is a recovery. Let's take a look and let's see what Bloomberg Market and Finance has got to say about Bitcoin. So, let's see what they got for us.
Bitcoin, it's been on a tear this year. It's pushing above 21,000. It's flirting with its longest winning streak in nearly a decade. We're talking 13 or 14 straight days of gains here, Romain. It's up about 1% right now for 2022, or 2023 rather. I know we're only 17 days in. It's up almost 29%.
Yeah, and it doesn't really seem to be any real catalyst other than maybe, I guess, people are looking at the correlations with the Fed, obviously, and sort of the general idea of sort of what that means for economic conditions. And if the Fed is out of the way, then maybe you have a sense here that there is some safety, if you will, relative safety, if you will, in some of the riskier assets, the speculative assets.
Yeah, and I mean, if stocks...
Because nobody's making a use case for this again, are they?
No, I have yet to give it another 20,000 or so, and then people will talk about that again. I haven't heard that, though, but what I have heard is, again, this is a macro asset. If people are pricing in, rather, the fact that the Fed maybe is going to pivot here, you would expect Bitcoin to sort of be a leveraged bet on that. But what's interesting, if you look at the technicals, and Bitcoin really has not much else to trade on, if you look at the 14-day RSI, it's the most oversold since the start of 2021. It's at a 90 right now. If you get above a 70, you're oversold. So it's quite oversold at this point.
Okay, overbought?
Overbought.
Exactly okay, right. Yeah, you were confusing.
It's difficult because if you look on the terminal,
you have to, you have to flip the terminal upside down.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm working on that
there
one.
You go. All right, I think we have Hannah Miller on the phone, very own here, a Bloomberg news reporter, has been covering all this. Joining us, there's Hannah. Hannah, I mean, this is a technical story. Is it a macro story? I mean, what's behind this?
Yeah, so I think macro investors are starting to feel more comfortable investing in Bitcoin again. I mean, this streak has been pretty impressive, and it's welcome news for the industry. The fact that Bitcoin is above $21,000 right now, crypto investors are feeling good about things.
How sustainable is this, though? Because, again, you stack this up, and this is sort of the tension here, that the headlines about what's actually going on in the crypto industry, some of the companies in the space, it doesn't seem like the needle has moved much in terms of good news on that front. Hannah, what is the sort of the latest in terms of the sentiment in the crypto industry?
Well, we have seen things quiet down since FTX filed for bankruptcy, and obviously there's more developments to come with that. So, you know, that could always shake things up and bring more volatility to crypto prices. But right now, I think investors are feeling good about 2023 and are hoping that Bitcoin bottomed and that we're only going to go up from here.
I am curious. We were talking a little bit earlier, Hannah, about a story that Joanna Ossinger wrote with the discussion with Brett Harrison and this idea that Anthony Scaramucci is now investing in a company set up by Brett, and the idea that there are a lot of, I guess, larger players in this space that maybe moved to the sidelines or at least weren't as vocal and active in 2022 that do appear to be kind of dipping their toe back in the water.
Yeah, well, I think there's this kind of theme here that crypto is an industry for second chances. You know, Brett Harrison, he was the president of FTX US, stepped down way before FTX filed for bankruptcy. He's coming back in. And then we've also seen the founders of 3 Arrows Capital, which was a crypto hedge fund that collapsed last year. They've come back in with a new venture. They're trying to raise $25 million for a crypto exchange that right now is called GTX.
We should point out, too, that Roswell Khan, of course, the crocodile of Wall Street, also has a new job. So I think the risk sentiment is certainly shifting in this space. If she didn't get rehired again, then
I know. Then truly, I don't know. Down is up is down.
Have we asked her to come on the air?
We should. Let's write that down. But I want to talk about the 3 Arrows guys. The fact that they do have this new venture, Hannah. I mean, what has the reaction been? It feels like when I go on Twitter, every time one of them tweets, Suzu or Kyle Davies, that it's a pretty tough reception.
Yeah, crypto Twitter is not too happy. I think we have to remember here that there's still a lot of pain in the industry, that there isn't closure yet from the collapse of 3 Arrows Capital. You know, there are still creditors who are owed money. So the fact that these guys have the audacity to come out there, push forward a new venture, I think that has set some people on edge.
So when we get to this idea, Hannah, of I guess how the FTX shakes out, whatever regulation, if at all, Congress does anything. But then, of course, we know there are a couple of key court cases as well. They're going to sort of, I guess, be pretty instrumental in maybe potentially determining whether crypto is, a currency or a commodity or whatever it is here. Put that together for us and give us a sense here of maybe what folks are sort of anticipating in the next few months.
Yeah, I think folks are definitely anticipating more regulation. And, there could be more clarity for the industry and how DeFi is going to be regulated, how centralized exchanges are going to be looked at by the SEC. There are still so many questions here that many in the industry are waiting for answers for. So I think this year we are going to see a push towards regulation. We've already heard rumblings from SEC Chair Gary Gensler. So I think it'll be really exciting in terms of what's next in terms of how crypto is going to be regulated.
What about some of the VCs that you speak to, some of your sources on that side? Are they waiting for regulation, or are they maybe looking at depressed valuations and seeing some opportunity here?
Yeah, so I think a lot of VCs I speak to are still very bullish on the industry. They're excited about decentralized finance in particular. I think they are looking for more clarity here. They want answers. They want to know how they should invest in their companies and how the regulatory landscape is going to impact their investing strategy. So I think they're actually looking forward to what regulators are going to say about how they're going to manage crypto.
You want customers from...
All right. Excuse me. So let's talk about that last little bit she said right there. How people are excited for decentralized finance. That to me was the key word, because that's exactly what Shido Global is, right? We are building a decentralized banking platform in crypto. Now, she's talking about all this money that's been sitting on the sidelines, right? That's stepping their foot back in. Well, that's reflective when we look at the overall crypto market. We're sitting right now at 990. We're damn near $1 trillion market cap again. 997.63 billion. Bitcoin is holding dominance at 21,310. You've got Ethereum holding dominance at damn near 1,600. You got BNB over $300. All the pegs are holding at exactly $1. The market is green. The market is telling me, and the market is telling the average investor, this is go time. We're back. We are recovering. Now, I know Arno spoke very passionately on kind of his expectations for 2023, and I have mine too. I firmly believe 2023, the first 2 quarters of 2023, we've got a little bit more pain to go. I think that it's going to be recovery. I think there may be a couple more shakeouts. I don't think we're ever going to retrace back to 17.5. I think the days of 17.5 in Bitcoin are done, especially after the last couple days. And having these charts beat in my head, I have to make the statement that the charts are seeing the exact opposite of the bears. The charts are proving that people are buying this. They are going in, and I know as much as Arno hates the term institutional money, that money is dipping its toes back into the crypto market. That recovery is on its way. I'm going to make a statement, and I'm curious, Arno, if you agree or disagree. I almost feel like 28,000 on Bitcoin is possible by the end of February. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. Listen, I think 60,000 is possible. If you get listen to me.
60,000.
60,000 is very bad.
Explain that.
Because these things go up cyclical. You have to understand. Remember what I was talking about with those dojis? Those dojis are predicated on a price trend that had already been established. It's an indecision on whether to make the price go up exponentially more. That's what that basically means. You see how Shido broke out from its monthly in a matter of days and matched exponentially what it did in only a month and a half in value? That's what I'm talking about. It's about exponential growth based on what already has happened before. And Bitcoin has already established 2 double dojis in the last 3 days. I haven't seen this since 2017 when we had exponential growth going from $4,000 to $22,000 in a month and a half. Okay, so 60,000 is very possible. You're only talking about going up. Well, that's 22,460. That's 2x from this price.
Damn, man. Damn. That's a bullish prediction. 60,000 Bitcoin before we're even in a bull run, brother.
I'm not saying it's going to. I'm not saying it's going to, but there's a potentiality there.
Right. Magic, I said I would not be surprised. Again, I'm not a fortune reader. I can't tell you the future. I would not be surprised to see 28,000 Bitcoin by the end of February. My reason for that again is what Arno is talking about here on this chart. You came in a little bit late. We'll kind of go over it again. If you look right here on the top, so if you look at that first red candle right there, okay, so that was the new candle open. It matched the close of the previous candle. It's called the doji. Now, as Arno has explained very eloquently, the doji is basically indecision. It tells you the market doesn't know whether they're going to buy or they're going to sell. Are we going to dump the shit or are we going to buy the shit? That's what that means. Now, when that opened, the following candle went straight parabolic, meaning people were going to buy it. We're going to establish new support. We're going to establish new trends. Now, where Arno freaked out is the fact that literally within days we opened another, and this is on the daily chart, we opened another doji. So you had literally a 1 day pump followed by another doji that opened, followed by what we are now in, another pump. And again, when you look down, he's talking about the support line and he's talking about the blue line down here. If that blue line is pointing straight down, that means you're ready to dump. As you can see, and he's circled it in orange, it's curving up. So it's developing new trends and new support lines. This shit's not going to dump. We're not going back to 17.5 like everyone expected us to do. So I think 28,000 is on the table by the end of February. That's my opinion.
I think it's a high pop. I think anything between that and 60 grand is possible. Because if you get Bitcoin, remember, all of this action is taking place during overbought territories. What happens when we get it going, when we have it in sustainable, reasonable territories for price movement? See what I'm saying? The room for exponential growth is there. That's why I'm saying that. Like, once you get into a channel where you don't have any friction and you don't have any of the backlogging with the buys coming in, and buys are coming in more expediently, the exponential growth comes in. And you got to remember, a recovery it goes back to where recovery really is. It's people holding bags in the negative, putting in DCAing money, and then you have new people coming in, establishing new bags, and then you have what you said, institutional money, who have big bags coming in. By the way, I don't hate the word. I want people to clarify what it really means. I always like to clarify what institutional money really means. Institutional money means just the root is institute with the purpose of taking out at a later date. That's all that means. It doesn't make it better money than anybody else's, but it does come with the connotation of being greater money. Like, say for instance, you'll have Jack, John, and Donnie putting in $500, DCAing in on their bags that are already lost money. But you'll have institutional money with guys with big bags coming in with $500,000, buying up multiple whole Bitcoins, looking to speculate. Because for them, 500 grand is equal to their $500 from their point of view. That's what I'm getting at here. That's where the exponential growth in Bitcoin could come from.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on Samuel's comment. He says, short Bitcoin futures, long GBTC is a terrible trade during a bull, especially when spreads keep declining. What are your thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm. Well, anytime you have a situation where you have the opportunity to long and short a crypto, there's always going to be opportunities for people to play both sides. You're going to have people who put in calls to long a position and then go ahead and have the money to push the price up higher. Case in point, people will get a position established and then put in a call for a short and then sell it and then make much more money than what they would have lost by selling their stuff off short. So he's right. I mean, when you have those abilities in any kind of financial institute, any kind of financial speculative market, you're going to have those plays. But having said that, it's you have to have the dearth of money to be able to manipulate the market against what everybody else is doing to make it work for you. And based on what I'm seeing, it wouldn't be very wise to short Bitcoin right now, because you'd have to have a lot of money to circumvent this trend right now.
Yeah. No, you're gonna have to come in with some serious money.
And why would you do that when there's currently an uptrend? Why not go ahead and just long it? Because it's going to long anyway. It's not. It doesn't make sense. I mean, nobody would do that. These guys that have all this money, they know this stuff. So, I mean, I would do it.
I was going to say, in my opinion, if I go into the Perpetual with 200x lending on a freaking long position of Bitcoin, man, you know how much money you would have made if you'd have called this and longed this? Ooh. If you'd have put a 200x position on, say, $10,000 and longed Bitcoin and knew what we knew now, shit, man, if I could go back in time 9 days.
That'd have been a 20 million payout, $20 million.
That's what I'm saying. If I could go back in time 9 days, bro.
Did a 200x limp a long position on Bitcoin from the beginning, that'd have been $20 million. At 200x, yeah, it's $20 million.
Yeah, if only I could go back 9 goddamn days, bro.
But and keep in mind, and speaking to Mr. McCullough here, how you doing? These big dudes, they know that they're not gonna. Nobody's gonna because they know in order to, you can play the game, but unless you can do that, or you have a group of individuals that can coordinate and do it with you that you can trust, it's kind of hard to short a strong uptrend. It's more in your favor to go ahead and play the uptrend and make money that way. You know,
Right.
I mean, I know I do it.
So this is what Sam said here. He said, GBTC is grayscale Bitcoin. He said it's trading currently at negative 50% NAV right now. Institutional money betting the spread collapses. You hedge with BTC futures. Okay, I see what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. I can't see the message. It's kind of fuzzy on mine.
Again, he said GBTC, which is grayscale Bitcoin. He said it's trading at negative 50% NAV right now. Institutional money is betting the spread collapses. He said you come in and hedge with BTC futures.
Right.
I can see what he's saying.
Like, yeah, you're losing by trying to short this thing. I mean, why would you do that to yourself?
Right. We got Stage 5 says money is nothing if you don't spend it for the right thing. But then again, what is the right thing? A yacht, my friend. A yacht. But then again, everyone has their perception of what the right thing is. But no, man, dude, just talking Bitcoin, talking about the bullishness that's happening. This market's crazy. You know, I really don't know, man. I don't know what the hell's going to happen over the next few days. But I do know we're not going back. As you put it at the start of this, today's price is absolutely not going to be tomorrow's price. And that holds true. That holds true for Shido. That holds true for Bitcoin, ETH, BNB, the entire damn market.
Just look at how much has happened since our last show last week. Look how much has happened. Like the world is, to quote the great Carlos Montos from BitConnect, the world is no more as it once knew it to be. It is not anymore to be. So it's
I'm gonna need you to record his famous BitConnect intro, but for Shido, we're gonna have to play that shit on the live stream.
No, Shido.
Shido! God damn BitConnect, man. The first rug pull that 99.99% of degen investors ever had in their life was BitConnect, and I was one of them, man. Fuck.
Great BitConnect, the great BitConnect of 2018.
God, man, believing that speculative interest was gonna make me a millionaire.
Well, I always told people, nobody can guarantee you a daily return by definition, but by definition of speculation. That's what makes speculation possible. If you have a fixed return, then how is that speculation? And why would you want to limit yourself to 1% return a day? You would want to be in the market where you can have full immersion. I would never want to put my money in a situation like that. So, but
Well, let's tune the conversation from Bitcoin and price action to something that's just as bullish that I know a lot of people are drooling at the bits for, and that's Shido Chain. Now, we were talking a little bit earlier today about some of the groundbreaking stuff that's happening here with Shido Chain, and I'm gonna pull up a tweet that Bjorn sent, and we're gonna read it. We're gonna check it out here. Give me 1 second.
we're going to check it out.
We're gonna check it out, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I broke this down in layman's terms because what Bjorn put, if you're not a techie person, you're not going to understand the full effect. So I will read Bjorn's, and I'll kind of read what I summarize. So Bjorn said, Shido Chain sharding solution. We are able to create parallel chains to the main blockchain. That's really important for you guys to listen to and understand. These chains can then communicate with each other through the IBC protocol. Each zone can then validate blocks simultaneously, increasing the speed of Shido Chain proportionally. Dumbing that down for you, in case you don't understand what this means, basically it's unlimited transactions per second.
Right.
Basically, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, you're right. It allows that, but the reason, what Bjorn is talking about, the reason, if you and I learned this from probably one of the greatest coders of all time, David Schwartz, with the XRP ledger. Whatever you may feel about XRP or whatever, I don't care. David Schwartz is a freaking genius. I've listened to a lot of this stuff about reaching consensus, and I've learned from him that the main thing that you have to have your blockchain be able to scale is to solve the consensus problem. Because when congestion along the blockchain and getting consensus is which hinders your transaction speed. If you can find a way to get consensus faster, you get faster transactions. Simple as that. That's what Bjorn is talking about. By having a parallel chain against the main blockchain, you essentially are, in a way, bypassing the need for 100% consensus to get consensus in the future. If that makes any sense. I know that sounds like some next level stuff there, but essentially what you're doing is you're mirroring the chain and creating alternate transactions in single blocks. So those transactions and those confirmations and consensus are already being, I don't like to use the term grandfathered in because they're not, but they're kind of like they're being recorded or pre-recorded for those transactions that are yet to come, which allows you to scale up because you're not worried about having that transaction being 100% being confirmed on the main blockchain. You've already got that in, so you can get other transactions in, which basically it just comes down to how fast can you get them all out. And essentially what you have is the potential for unlimited transactions per second, which is what Bjorn is talking about. Ethereum has already talked about this with their sharding, but they have a problem. They have to mint tokens every 5 seconds. We ain't got that problem. All of our tokens are out there forever. That's all we got. That 95 billion, it ain't getting no bigger, but you better believe it's going to get smaller. Oh, it's going to get a lot smaller, real freaking quick.
Right.
So, but that's another story. But in regards to sharding, what Bjorn is talking about is essentially with Shido Chain, in my opinion, it's going to be a major competitor for developers who are already on blockchains and who are looking to start on a blockchain. Because Ethereum, if Bjorn's successful, fundamentally speaking, there's no reason to be on the Ethereum blockchain anymore with your project, other than just unless you were a first adopter and have a shit ton of Ethereum for transaction priority. If you're already grandfathered in, you got a shit ton, yeah, go ahead and stay. It's good for you. But if you're some, you're down there, you're fighting to survive, why the hell would you want to stay there? When you can get over there, get yourself a big bag of Shido right now, come over to a fresh blockchain that has far higher scalability and be able to conduct business at a faster rate and basically turn your entire project around. I mean, other than having first mover advantage, there's really no reason to stay on the Ethereum. I mean, we all like Ethereum, we know what it is, but fundamentally speaking, if you're telling me I'm getting faster transactions and it's a newer blockchain and I can get proof of stake, remember, it's about proof of staking, meaning that you have to have the token to be able to get your transactions prioritized on the blockchain. If it's about that, why would you stay there with an already flushed out price token that you have to constantly buy, and you're basically DCAing yourself, buying it every step that you go, so you can just get your transactions out a little bit higher every period or however you may do it. Or you can go ahead, come on Shido Chain, port over. We've already got the same code with Solidity. You don't have to worry about that. You come on in and you get going with your project out the gate. To me, if I'm a dev, I'm looking at that, I read that, I'm thinking, you know what, guys? I think we're going to need a bigger boat. That's what I'm saying to my people. I think we're out of here because there's no reason to stay there. And I'm not downing Ethereum. Ethereum is great. I still stand by. I think Ethereum is the greatest crypto of all time. I think it's the greatest crypto of all time because of what it did for the space. It proved that decentralized applications could be successful. That's what it did. That's what it did. It proved decentralized applications could be successful. Before Ethereum, we didn't have them. After Ethereum, they're the way of the world. You can't deny that. But having said that, from a competition standpoint, if you're telling me that staying on Ethereum with my project is the smartest thing to do and not look at Shido Chain as a legitimate opportunity, I don't know what else to tell you. Okay? I don't know what to tell you if you don't see that as an opportunity for your project. So
yeah, so to touch on that, god damn bullish, man. But no,
yeah.
to touch on that, one point I'd put there too is to understand how this works. And that again is by the sharding aspect. It's literally cloning the blockchain. So it's cloning multiple versions of the primary Shido chain and allowing each clone chain to create its own transaction with no interaction to the other clone chain. Thus, it's completely preventing congestion. So you're literally, it's like, let's say there's 900 projects a second trying to validate. You're going to get 899 cloned versions of Shido Chain all validating at the same time with zero network congestion. That is groundbreaking. That is absolutely groundbreaking. And again, like Arno just said, the biggest thing, Ethereum tried to solve that. Vitalik tried to come in and solve that quadrant, solve that issue, but he couldn't because he has an infinite minting inside his contract. His coin mints indefinitely. So they're not able to do that the way that Shido can do it.
There's no way. I mean, I'm not going to say there's no way you can do it, but what makes it, you see, there's three things that really dictate, a blockchain in terms of scalability. That's security, that's your transaction speeds and getting that out, and then that's your decentralization. If you try to change one of those aspects, you affect the other. But when you throw having to mine into that, now it creates another problem. The main problem Ethereum is facing with their sharding initiative is that they have to have miners. If you didn't have that, they could be off the races in doing it too. Shido doesn't have that problem because tokens are already pre-minted. We don't have that issue. And then on top of that, the scalability is going to be solved. Again, like what you said, you're cloning the blockchain and keeping it separate on the other side and having it individualized blocks that are already having transactions being verified, so you don't have to have the congestions on the main. So it's almost like it's like plumbing. It's like you have the same. You can increase your flow of water if you add more pipes in to get more water in, instead of having just one line. That's all it really is, people. You're just creating more ways to have more information coming through the blockchain, and then thus increasing your throughput with your transactions per second. Essentially, you have the potentiality to be unlimited because you can clone against the clone, and in a sense, you can continuously do this infinitely because that's what you run nodes and you do this infinitely. You grow and you have more information. It creates the possibility to scale up to have as many projects as you possibly can on there, which is why I say I don't like, it's a direct competitor now. because now you have the ability to have more projects. You can have like thousands of projects on there doing business and not having to worry. Oh man, we can't get our transactions up. Oh, we're lagging today. So it's going to be a wonderful thing, and I think Shido Chain is going to be, again, a cornerstone cryptocurrency project. I stand by it. I think it's going to be a crypto that we talk about many years from now. But coming to what Valhalla has on the screen here, yeah.
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 So what I have on the screen here, ladies and gentlemen, it's absolute cornerstone. What I have on the screen right here, so this is still the web-based version, right? You can access this to show everyone where I access this from. For those that may not know yet, when you go to shido.io, that is our official new website. You can still access it through shido.finance. It'll redirect you to shido.io. Now, that being said, you're going to notice right up here, you know, a lot of people for a while were like, what's the launch the app button for? Nothing was happening. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when you launch the app, it brings you to the web-based portal for our decentralized exchange and Perpetual with limit orders, all built in. Now, again, this, super bullish, man. I am. we walked through this last week on the AMA, and Arno, like the double doji gets him excited. This has me excited because this, not only does this scream 100% professionalism to me, but it is every tool that you need to be a successful trader. And I'm going to walk through some of it. So first things first, if you look right here, we're in basic mode, right? So this literally looks like it looks almost like 1 inch, because there's some influence that came into building Shido Dex. That influence came from finance and from 1 inch. So this is going to look very similar in some regards to both finance, which I'm totally good with, and 1 inch is swap trading platform. Now this is your standard, just your simple mode, right? It's just your swap. Connect your wallet, make your trades, you're done. Now you want to get a little bit more advanced. You go up here and you go to classic mode. Now we got the fun shit, right? Now we got the good shit. We got the DEX tools sharding. We've got all of our indicators. We've got everything to plot and check pricing. Everything you want to do before you make your buys. And this is by second. So this updates while you're over here doing everything else. This chart's telling you what is happening live. That is just, I love it. I love the fact that this is included right here, good to go. Now, you want to go down here and do limit orders? Boom, there it is. We had somebody in Shido official that was asking about limit orders. And I'm going to read what that person said because it's 100% true. Hold on a second. It's the ways up here, so bear with me. I got to scroll back through everything.
Limit orders. I'm so excited about.
Man, talk to me about limit orders while I'm finding this, because I know this is one that's got you just jumping up and down too.
We've all been on centralized exchanges. You know, we've all put buy orders in for future prices. That's where a limit order is, people. But we've never really had that in swaps. See, and by swaps I mean decentralized finance. So what that basically means is when you're putting in future orders to buy, you're effectively setting a price point for people to come in there and speculate. Say, oh, I see buys here going here. Maybe I should go ahead and maybe speculate and add more volume to that price because maybe it's going to click. And when those buys go through, you fundamentally accelerate the price on that particular crypto. Just like you do on a centralized exchange. We've all seen it. We've been on a centralized exchange. You see a price get ticked and the price jumps up. That's the same thing. That's exactly how it would be on a decentralized exchange. The principle is the same. You're just changing the way about which you're cutting by the crypto, which is decentralized, which is the way we need to be. So limit orders are going to be big. The ability to place future orders for buys and sales in real time in the decentralized fashion, it's going to be big for the space. Every time a price gets matched, that price is going to click over and click all those other buys that have been placed in there. So just imagine people putting in orders for. Imagine what it would do to the value within our DEX against our revenue with our contributing revenue for our buyback and burns. Imagine what it's going to do for our governance. Imagine what that's going to do for our token price in the long run. All those aspects putting it into one big bottle and then just shake them up and then unleash it. It's like one big bottle of champagne being unleashed after it's been shooken up like 100,000 times. It's going to be one big explosion. So it's going to be huge, man. I'm excited about limit orders.
Oh yeah. So no, to touch on what the gentleman was going on in chat. Hey, if you can mute your mic again, remember when we're swapping that way, we want to get feedback. No, you're good, bro. It just my mic triggers feedback, and so sorry, dude. Again, we had somebody in chat that was talking about it, and he was like, wait, you're telling me we got limit orders on the DEX? We got limit orders? It's like, yeah, bro, we got limit orders. And you got to see it from the standpoint of investors, right? Our aggregator protocols that we have in the DEX are getting you the absolute best price the second you are ready to do your swap. So that lines over to your limit orders. So when you put a limit order in conjunction with that protocol, you're guaranteed the absolute best sell or buy price. So when you put your stop limit order in of like, hey, we hit this point, boom, sell my crypto, sell this asset, you're getting it guaranteed at the best rate, the best price. All of that's coming into play with our DEX. There isn't a DEX in the crypto space that does what Shido DEX does, with everything being centrally combined. There isn't one. There is not a DEX out there you can show me that does this the way that Shido DEX does it, with the aggregation pricing protocol, the limit orders, the perpetual with 200x lending positions, and the deepest liquidity pool in any perpetual platform I have seen yet, allowing you to do some of the craziest shorts and long positions in crypto. That's all right here, right? All of it is right here. So
I believe just $20,000 to liquidity pool. I believe we just added $20,000 to liquidity pool a couple of days ago. Bjorn and the boys did.
We did. Yes, we did. Yeah, no, and we'll touch on that too. I wanted to see where the liquidity pool is currently, and we'll tally all that up as well.
Right. Well, let me touch on about the aggregator. Like that's 100%.
Yeah, go ahead.
That this thing is going to make. It's going to make. I got to quote Rocky IV, the trainer from Rocky IV, the Russian guy, when he said, "It makes a man a better man." Well, it's going to make you a trader, a better trader. That's what this is going to do. Like if you're already a good trader, you're going to be even better one. Imagine what you can do in the DeFi space when you don't have to worry and have to think about having to buy a spot price all the time, where you can forecast your trades. You've never really had that. I mean, you could somewhat do it if you have like a super layout. I know Valhalla has like 4 monitors or something like that, where you got like 4 or 5 monitors and you're watching like different charts at the same time. Well, our DEX allows you to do that in-house in one spot. Imagine that, taking the power of having 4, 5, 6 monitors and putting that all into one wallet, not having to worry about that. You can be like, the time it takes you to sit down, put some butter on your croissant in the morning at a breakfast place, and you're sitting there and you're putting in limit orders and buys that will probably pay out sometime during noon when that price gets up there. And you can go back there and click, and then you have your stop loss set in there on top of that. Imagine that in the DeFi space. We've never had that. And you can do it all in real time while real information being put to you, and you're getting real prices sent to you throughout all of the decentralized apps out there. All the DEXs, all the information's out there. There's no guesswork. So it's going to make, like I said, it's going to make a man a better man. As the Russian guy from Rocky IV said. It's going to make you from a regular trader into a better trader. I mean, if you're a good trader already, you're going to be a great one. If you're a newbie, you're going to be in for education, because I don't see how you don't increase your IQ with Shido. It's like this aggregator is going to make the average investor learn more about crypto and how it works just by using it and getting there and playing around with it. Like you won't even have to even make trades to learn. You can just go in there and just see what's going on in the crypto space by watching the aggregator, and you can see how things are moving and working, and you're going to increase your IQ just by watching it. I mean, I can tell you from my experience. I've been in crypto for over 6 years, and I've gotten everything that I've learned from watching hundreds and hundreds of charts over the years. Well, Shido was taking that guesswork out. You don't have to be like me. Good for you. Thank God you don't have to be like me. Sitting around watching 100 charts. You can just go to the aggregator and watch everything in real time. You want to see what BTC's doing? Boom, it's there. You want to see what ETH's doing? Boom, it's there. You want to see what BNB's doing? Boom. You want to see what Wrapped BNB is doing? Look at that. There's no limitations here. You won't have to be, worrying about what price is doing here on this DEX or what that. Let me get over here and open up another window. Another window. No, it's all right there. And
you don't have to be.
Yeah, what Valhalla said earlier, you're spot on, man.
I was going to say you don't have to be Valhalla with five monitors watching 22 different charts.
That's pretty to do. I mean, we've all seen YouTubers do it. YouTubers who have like 5, 6, 7, 8 monitors up watching like 7 different projects. Hey, come on.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still have a use case for all 5 monitors. In fact, I'll be adding another 2 to that at some point. But my premise point is that this is revolutionary, man. And then we get over to this bad boy. Now, right now, I wanted to show everybody. Right now, you can't load the Perpetual. The Perpetual will be online, and this is from Bjorn. And I'm going to read this to you from Bjorn, just from the mouth of the dev. We were talking all day today. He said that the Perpetual DEX should be up again with version 1.2 at any point in time. It is going to introduce a better trading experience. So they're already improving upon the Perpetual. Right now, you can use the DEX fully fleshed, good to go. It is in test flight mode currently. It will be going mainnet this week. Everything is good. This is 100%, and you can use it as it stands right now. You can connect your wallet, you can do trading, do anything you want to do. Go ahead, Arno. What's up?
You remember RoboCop's dashboard from his point of view, how he sees the world? It's all next level and computerized and perfectly optimized. That's what this looks like. Like you just zoom in on such and such, like that robot vision thing. It just reminds me of that. Like it's just 100% idealized, for trading.
Yeah, it is. So we had a comment here from an individual in our Telegram chat. Natlas said, I experienced in PancakeSwap that can place limit order only by buying lower than current price, sell higher than current price. Cannot make conditions such trailing stop when Binance can. Also, CEX still cannot as well. This is if the Shadow DEX can set trailing stop and buy orders, I would say, wow. I don't know about the trailing side of it, but I can tell you that you, yes, 100% can set buy and stop. So buy and sell orders in the DEX with the real-time price aggregation at the absolute guaranteed best price. Now, with that being said, you are more than welcome to bring that question to Thursday's AMA. Just request the mic and ask Bjorn that, and he can further elaborate for you. But I wouldn't be surprised, because one thing that I've come to know about Bjorn and the dev team is if you bring them an idea that makes sense, they'll implement it. They will absolutely, if it makes sense and it's, something that can be done, it will be done. And that is the beauty of the project you guys are in, is the Shadow DEX, the Shadow Wallet, the Shadow Perpetual, the burns. A lot of this is coming from the community. I was a huge advocate and a part of the let's burn the shit out of Shido. We both were. Me and Arno both were. And we brought numbers to Bjorn. I never imagined 30% of revenue would go to Burns Weekly. I never imagined that shit. Never. But I put it out there and I said, hey, what about these high numbers? And here's Bjorn like, yeah, I like 30%. Let's burn the shit out of this. Say what? Like, wow. You have this token doing all of this governance, and you now want to just burn the world down. Are you kidding me now?
I hate to be repetitive and keep harping on this to people, but I just want to bring this back.
Please do.
It started out as 100 billion max token, people. We are now at 95. This is 95 between ERC and BEP 20 tokens. The token is going to be responsible for a myriad of responsibilities that are too numerous to name right now. Please go to the website and read. Follow some of the AMAs because it's gotten so long to where I can't even go over all this. 30% of revenue every single week. Bjorn has said on AMA it will be a weekly burn and it will be done manually, which means he could probably go ahead and up it. He might, with Bjorn, you'd never know. He might go ahead and do it. He might go ahead and do it twice in a week. You know, he might do it that way. Who knows? But if you play around with the numbers, 30% on 1 million is 300 grand. Now imagine what 30% on 10 million in revenue would be. What's 30 million? That's freaking $3 million. $3 million.
Yeah, it's $3 million. Bro.
Right. Now, obviously, someone would say, well, that would buy up the whole supply right now. Well, that's because the price, if you got to that point, it wouldn't fetch that many tokens because the price would be so higher. I can't say this enough, man. Like, there's no point in this project where this token does not grow in price, whether it's just through the tokenomics or the way that the token is utilized within the wallet and the blockchain. To say nothing of the migrations that's going to take place with the one-to-one, and when that's going to take place, and effectively, you have what I have affectionately called the Trinity effect, when you have SHI-20, ERC-20, and BEP-20 basically growing each other's price by virtue of the migrations going on, as well as this, and then you throw in the staking, the incentives on staking. I mean, there's really no incentive. If you're a long-term holder, there's really no incentive to not stake your tokens. You're being basically rewarded by staking, meaning you're going to have an inescapable price floor with a constant depreciating supply by virtue of its own practices. Remember, the practice of facilitating all of this stuff is what's going to lead to the revenue, which is going to lead to burning its own self off over time and squeezing the price up. Then you have the developers coming in and buying the token, people. Remember, this is a proof of stake framework blockchain. That means the devs have to have the token to conduct business. If you don't believe that these devs have war chests that sit around and wait for blockchains to be built that they can come build their projects on, you're naive. I've been in the space long enough. I've seen these devs. I've seen projects who wait and look for opportunities to go build somewhere else. This is why I've always said, if you can get behind a blockchain project at the beginning, it's the holy grail, because the implications on that cannot be overstated. I mean, hyperbole, maybe hyperbole or not, but look at the history of crypto. Look at the history of every single blockchain project. Even the ones that failed have made millionaires. Even the ones that have failed. Look at EOS. EOS was promising, I think, 100 million transactions per second back in 2018. They failed. They never delivered. But they're still in the top 30 projects out there. People made bank with EOS.
Well,
Okay.
let's just pull them up real quick.
Exactly.
So EOS, check this shit out. EOS is trading at $1.03 right now. Fucking $1.03, ladies and gentlemen. It's down. It's down 30.33%, and it's trading at $1.03, and it's a failed project.
Go with its all-time high though. What was his all-time high?
Well, shit.
No.
It's $21.64 as a
There
failed
you go,
project at its all-time high.
At what date was that? I believe that was in
4/29/2018 at 6 p.m.
during the major run-up when Bitcoin was going nuts. So it was pegged and got pulled up. So But nonetheless, see, now where's the absolute bottom?
Absolute bottom on this looks absolute bottom looks like it was 60. No, about 58 cents. Absolute bottom.
That's the recorded absolute bottom. I guarantee you the pre-sale was fractional. I guarantee you it was on the pre-sales.
Oh, yeah.
It's back then, they did stealth launches and all that stuff. So just that alone, imagine just being at the stealth launch or the pre-launch of that.
Right.
Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. And this is a failed blockchain project, people. They got probably
Right.
a couple hundred projects on there right now. I think maybe a couple hundred. I don't know the number. It's like a couple hundred.
Let's take a look at their official website. Let's see if they talk about it here.
Yeah.
Let's see. They mentioned what projects are on the chain.
And then I won't say they failed. They just didn't deliver on the astronomical EPS they were talking about back then. It was, I mean, 100 million back then was like insane back then.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, I wouldn't. The word fail is probably the wrong way to put it, but they didn't deliver what they promised, and now they sit right at $1.03. But even at that, if you invested in this at $1.03, I mean, come on now. If you bought this at fractional, you were getting hundreds of millions of tokens. If you were sitting on even 10 million EOS at $1.03 today's price action, you ain't upset.
$10 million.
You're not upset. It's $20 million. You ain't upset. So I mean, it's bottom line, guys. Like when I hear you in chat, and believe me, I hear you. I see you. I see every comment in Shido chat. I may not respond to them, but I do see everything. And when I see, God damn, win $1 or will Shido go to $1? Guys, stop it. Understand what is coming.
Stop it.
God damn it. I'm telling you, Shido is going to the multiple dollars. Bjorn has been very playful whenever he hears the comments. Yeah, pennies. Hence the sarcasm in that man's voice. Do you think a top 10 project is going to sit its ass at just a penny or $1? No. I'm telling you right now.
And again, I always bring the supply up. XRP, I have intimate knowledge of the XRP experience. I was there I was there when XRP made its first initial run up to the big dollars. Okay. People, I remember the rhetoric in 2017. Oh, 100 billion supply could never go to $1. XRP in 1 year did $3.65 just by being in the market. It didn't even fulfill its destiny at that time. 100 billion supply. Imagine buying it at a fraction. And keep in mind, 50% of it is locked up cryptographically. People say it's centralized. That's neither here nor there. The point is that 50 billion was on the market. These are similar tokenomics to Shido and what we have done with splitting the supply like that. And you saw what happened to that token with no utilization. Ripple has not been utilized by banks. It has never been utilized. It is, to this point, it has about as much in common with a legend or a fable, something, a myth. One day it will unite all banks and we'll get this glorious brothers and sisters across the world sending money transactions at light speed. It's a nice dream, but to the date, it has not happened. And yet, this token did $3.65 at a time where the cryptocurrency market cap was in the lower hundreds of billions. That's not a lot of money to go around at that time, and yet it did it. What's going to happen when our token gets fully fleshed out in utility and this market cap is around 10 trillion? Because you better believe that's where we should be at right now. The global economy is in the multiple hundreds of quadrillions in retail money that's just sitting around to speculate on various things, whether it's, I don't know, designer clothes, video games, comic books, whatever. They can speculate on crypto as well. That money's just sitting out there to come and flow in here. If we just get a fraction, like a small percent of a fraction, that would send us to 10 trillion easy. Easy. We've already been at 4.3 people. We got to recover there just to get back whole. We got people holding bags waiting for that. When you hear stuff like that and you don't get it, again, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you if you can't see where this is going. I mean, you got these people on MSNBC talking about cryptocurrencies is it's a place for second chances. No, it's a place to find fortune. Second chances. No, it's a place for last chances.
Yeah, it ain't no second chance shit. This is your opportunity to change your life. Now, I want to throw something out there because people are always talking. About influencers. They're like, oh my, we gotta get Shido out there. I want to draw attention to a particular influencer in the Twitter space. I've been watching. I've been paying attention. And I've been following BSC daily. Now, I want you all to notice something here. Okay? So, BSC daily is followed by a lot of people. Okay? 557,000 people follow and listen to what this individual is tweeting out. Almost over 500,000 people are following this individual. Just to give you an idea of the bullishness here, Shido Global is building a massive ecosystem covering all of your DeFi needs. Their Perpetual platform and DeFi wallet is now available. Their layer 1 proof of stake blockchain is in progress, and DEX launch is coming this week. Go explore Shido at shido.io. Now, when you dig in here, and you just get an idea of who this man follows.
Tweet that Valhalla?
What's up?
Did he tweet that personally, or
he tweeted that personally? And I'm just gonna throw it out there. He follows a lot of very, very high-end people. We're talking top exchanges. We're talking CZ Binance. We're talking a lot of people. This man follows a metric, excuse my language, fuck ton of very important people in the crypto sphere. He is tweeting consistently about Shido Finance. Now, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but when I see stuff like this, I see people like this that are just going to the wall because they know something. They understand what is coming. They understand Shido is changing the game, ladies and gentlemen. This shit ain't a joke. This isn't a move. This is checkmate, bitch. We're not playing checkers. We're playing 3D chess, and Bjorn is 7 moves ahead of you. What you thought was going to be a groundbreaking move? No. Bjorn's got you figured out. Checkmate is coming. You're just not there yet. It's kind of like a lion in the savannah. When it sees the antelope that's limping, right? And it's just kind of chilling. It's watching it, right? It's not rushing to eat it. It's not rushing to kill it. It's just watching. It's watching it limp along, waiting for the opportunity where the antelope fucks up, right? That's what you got going on in the crypto sphere. Shido is the lion. It's watching. It's learning. It's waiting patiently. And the moment is coming. Checkmate. When checkmate hits, I'm sorry, but if you're not on board this rocket, you messed an opportunity. This is a 1000x plus project. This is not a quick pump and dump 2x and jeet your ass out and move on to the next green candle. This is not just, we're paying 40 influencers to pump it to a new all-time high and it's going to die. No.
Rick, that's
This
being used now.
project is going to change, irreparably change the DeFi space. There's 17.5 thousand people who have viewed this tweet. I want you to listen closely to that. Almost 18,000 people know that the DEX launches this week. Think on that for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Think on that. Damn. God, how bullish is that?
Right. And to piggyback on what Valhalla's saying, and if you haven't noticed, Valhalla's in between us. He has his fingertips more on the social aspects of crypto. I'm more of the technical side. But what we will both agree on is that there are two things in this world that drive crypto. It's either popularity or utility. And based on what Valhalla just showed me, because we've already got utility sewn up. Based on what Valhalla has just shown me, I was not aware of that. I was not aware of that, Valhalla. So I thank you for that. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I got another one for you.
We have popularity going.
Oh,
You're telling me.
Oh, you do.
You're telling me we got a guy with 1.5 million subscribers. He put the tweet out. He got 17.5 hits on it already. How old is that tweet anyway, by the way?
That tweet's a few hours old.
Jesus. I'm done. I'm not talking anymore the rest of the evening. I don't need to say no more. I don't say no more. There's nothing more to. I don't know what to tell you. If you can't, I don't know what to tell you.
So here's the thing with that. I got more for you. Okay, I got more. We're gonna go through some of this. It's okay. I'm sorry. 17 hours. I stand corrected. I looked at it incorrectly. 17 hours. Still,
even still, bro. Even still,
that's 1,000 views an hour, bro. That's 1,000 views an hour, dog.
Right. And still 17. That ain't no. That's fuck.
God, man. All right, so I got another one here. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at BSC. This is another guy. Now he's a little bit of a smaller influencer, but don't get it twisted. I'm not huge on Twitter. I got 855 people who follow me on Twitter. Okay, I don't have a massive following, but I'm speaking the goddamn gospel. And if you listen, I'm a change your life. Just like BSC Jim is gonna change your life if you give a fuck. So my point here. Look at this bullish tweet. Buy Shido. It's not an advertisement. It is for you, my friends. Trust me, buy now. This shit's gonna moon. He's got a tag here from Shido. He has, this one came out 1:56 a.m. on January 17th. So this is actually a relatively new tweet. This is This is new. This is relatively new. 10.2 thousand views already. So let's go back here. Your other one, you had 17.5. You now have 10.2. You have damn near 28,000 people that have seen just these two tweets from these two influencers that are letting you know Shido Chain's coming. The DEX is launching on this week. And the Perpetual version 1.2 is going live. Not to mention the new wallet update that's already been pushed to the stores with a new UI and a new slew of updates that all of you wonderful investors have requested. Name a project that is doing this. Seriously, name one. Give me a shit coin. Give me a meme coin. Give me a stable coin that is bringing to the table what Shido Global is bringing to the table. Because you ain't going to find one. You're not. And that is why all eyes are on deck. All eyes. I'm going to show you another influencer
Man.
This one's gonna blow your mind. This gentleman's my personal favorite. I love me some Gandalf.
Oh yeah, Gandalf, he's cool.
Gandalf is my boy. So Gandalf, okay, he's got 96,000 followers. Okay, almost 100,000 mark. You
Right.
know damn well he follows CZ and a lot of the top people in the crypto space. Now, here's the thing. Let's take a look at a couple tweets that Gandalf has put out when we're talking about Shido.
Mhm.
Let me find it here. It's down a little bit. Yep, give me just a second. I'm getting close to it here. He does cover quite a few projects, so I do need to show. There we are. All right. This was 12 hours ago. This is just an example. All-time high on the BSC chart for Shido Global. Ethereum chart, are you next? Question mark. Has a picture of both charts talking about this right here, tagging his own tweet, Mind IU, and I'll explain that one in a second. The one where he's talking about the all-time high has 11.6 thousand views. Okay? Now, the one that he originally posted has 18,000 views, and it was the day prior. Blue chip in the making. Shido Global has been building nonstop. Everyone has spoken about its potential. Key fucking words, guys. All the hard work is paying off, and it's still early. Boom. ETH chart, BSC chart, 18.2 now, 1,000 views. This is all in the last 24 hours, guys. These tweets are coming out. Almost all of them have close to 20,000, if not more, people that are viewing them, that are following. If you do not believe that these people are watching and they are waiting to see the decks, I don't, as Arno has quoted you, I don't know what to tell you. Because what I'm saying here and what I'm showing here, I follow these people follow me. It's the same game, right? I play the same game just on a little bit of a lower scale. I'm in tune with the social element of crypto, and I'm telling you, the streets are talking. Twitter is talking. Shido is trending. People are starting to go, oh, this isn't a game. Oh, I don't want to miss this opportunity. You look at the charts. You look at the buys. While we've been talking tonight, I've watched like 7 or 8 little tiny $100, $200 buys come in. Those are nibbles. Those are people that are testing. They're coming in. They're buying a small position. They're in Telegram. They're listening. They're asking questions. Hell, they might be watching this AMA as we speak. They are waiting to see, does the DEX launch and is it successful? Because if it is, going all in. This is the kind of shit you're going to witness. If you remember, for those of you that are watching tonight, if you remember when the Perpetual went live, I was at work. And I literally watched my phone every 5 seconds. Bing, 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 bing. And it was Telegram alerts. It was buy alerts. And I'm, Jesus. You can ask Shido Queen for 5 hours straight. I sat there just posting buy after buy after buy right to our chat. And they were no less than $400 buys. They were up to $7,000 buys or higher. And they were just one after another. Why? That's speculative buying. And that's also smart money that understands, okay, the game has changed. Shido has forever changed the game. I'm getting in now. And you better believe those people that bought in at that time, they got a very, very healthy position compared to what the people that are going to be buying now at the launch of this DEX are going to get. The people buying at the launch of this DEX, they're not getting the same tokens the people were buying at the launch of Perpetual. That price ain't ever coming back.
To reiterate, Valhalla, remember what I said last week? That $300,000 that I was talking about for that revenue to go towards the tokens was getting 3 billion tokens, people. Right now, it's only getting 1.7 billion. Shido, in my opinion, for the average person, for the Jacks, the Joes, and the Donnies working the graveyard shift at 7-Eleven, this stuff is expensive. All right? Me personally, there's no way I could have the position I have now if I had done what I did back in September. There's no way. I ain't got it like that. You're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars to get yourself just in the top 50%. Top 50%, let alone, and up or beyond that. This thing is, you're only talking about 1,000% change before we get to 50 million market cap. That's nothing. Do you understand the level of impact it's going to have on the price? That's like 2 zeros. That's like a zero over. That's a tenth of a penny, people. A tenth. That's double 01. Double
Arno,
01.
You see this face right now? You see this smile? Does this remind you of a monkey avatar? That's right.
Yeah,
My fucking Mongol monkey that I post all the time with the dollar bills on the desk. Yeah, that's this. I know what's coming. I see it. I smell it. I hear it. I know it's here. It is just a matter of time. What Arno was talking about, $50 million market cap, guys, that is nothing. If you go back here and look at what is injected in the damn the global crypto market in 7 days. I mean,
it's time to get serious, man. It's just time to get.
Here's an example. Real quick. Yeah. I want to give you an example real quick. Oh, it is. 9 days ago, the global crypto market was at 880 billion. Okay, right now it's 996.25 billion. That is $116.25 billion that has entered the global crypto market in 9.5 days. You tell me what that means. Speaking, Arno, you tell me what an injection of $116 billion is about to do.
It's called recovery. That's what I say it is, because that ain't no dang. That ain't no banana peel. Nobody just slipped in the morning and their wallet fell open and dialed up their favorite DEX and injected money into crypto. That ain't no banana peel, people. That's a conscientious effort. Looks like the market's on the move. I better get in. DC8 is some bitch. Yeah, I took a hit last year, but fuck that noise. I'm not letting that money train leave without me on it. I am not letting that money train leave without me on it. That's what that says to me. That's only a matter of days. Bitcoin is riding overbought for 8 straight days and established a double doji pattern. Are you kidding me?
I got another one for you. So this is shout outs to Shadow Queen. I follow so many goddamn people. I didn't even know I followed this dude. James Bull. What's up, brother? I follow you. Follow me back. Anyways, James Bull has 86.6 thousand followers. He tweeted about Shido 17 hours ago. Here's what he had to say. Don't fade on Shido. It is shown to be one of the strongest pumps over the last week with the finalization of its upcoming decentralized exchange. 27.5 thousand views in 17 hours. We're above now 60,000 fucking people that are paying attention on the Twitter space that Shido's Dex is launching this week. Do you not? Are you not comprehending what's about to happen here?
People who have friends, brothers, sisters, and every co-workers or whatever, they're gonna tell them about it.
Let me make it real simple about what's about to happen here. We're just gonna watch it because goddamn it has relevance, right? All right. So here's what's about to happen right here. This is what's about to happen. Let's just be real. All right. Hold on. Not this lovely ad that I can't skip. Unfortunately.
And I just want to add that Valhalla right now is directly targeting the popularity aspect of what crypto could be.
Oh, I am. 100%.
This is what he's talking about.
Oh, I am 100%. But here's the thing: you have to target the popularity aspect, right? Because with the popularity aspect comes the speculative part, and with the speculative part comes the realization that the utilities are 100% actual, fully functional, decentralized, and they're doing exactly what we need to solve. And damn it, baby.
Exactly my point. It's all coming together.
That's right. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Shido 13 is what we're going to call this one.
Oh, God.
Because this is exactly what's coming, guys.
Apollo 13 flight controllers, listen up. Give me a go, no-go for launch. Booster.
Go.
Retro.
Go.
Vital.
We're go flight.
Guidance.
Guidance, go.
Surgeon.
Go flight.
Ecom.
We're go flat.
GNC.
We're go.
Tell me you.
Go.
Control.
Go flat.
Procedures.
Go.
Inco.
Go.
FAO.
We are go.
Network.
Go.
Recovery.
Go.
Capcom.
We're go fly.
Launch control. This is
Shadow
Houston.
Global
We are
is
go for launch.
For launch, baby.
Roger that, Houston. That leader.
We are go for launch. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. Think so. Stand by.
That's Arno right there in the pilot seat. Don't hit the abort button.
Fuel pumps. This is it. A few bumps and we're hauling the mail.
We are go for launch. T-minus
15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1. Ignition.
The clock is running.
We have liftoff. Houston, we have cleared the tower in 1313.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, so just sharing my excitement there. That's what's about to happen this weekend, guys. That is exactly what is about to happen this week when that damn DEX launches. 1313, Shadow 13 has cleared the tower. That is exactly what is about to go down. And if you don't think so, if you don't believe so, then you have no damn idea what you hold. Arno, how you feel about it?
And I think it's going to happen right alongside the recovery, which is going to be perfect. I mean, you can't ask for a better storm than this. We're going to launch all this stuff going on in the middle of what is probably going to be a 3 to 4 month recovery of the cryptocurrency market. And Shadow's going to just come in and just develop all its utility along that time. And that's before a bull run starts. I'm saying like a 3 to 4 month recovery. And we're going to be developing all this stuff and putting it out there throughout this time before we even get to an actual realized bull run. That's how I see it.
It's so insane, man. It's so insane to talk about that. To see that and to know we're a part of that journey. We're part of that ride, man.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I mean, you can expect, between now, March, April, that ride back up to 4 trillion market cap would be taking place. You're going to have your stagnation. That's part of recovery. You have your capitulation, your stagnation. But I think it's going to happen. I just don't see, based on what the charts have showed me, I have a hard time believing that, and not just the charts, but also what I've seen in the news and Reddit. I go everywhere, man. I just see what the streets are saying about Bitcoin, and I just see everybody saying nothing but. It's almost like, I don't want to call it necessarily FOMO, but it's almost like, well, I better get in before well, it kind of is like FOMO. I guess it is FOMO, but the sentiment is positive on crypto in general. And I just don't see, based on what the charts are showing me, with everything that's moving up and how everything is, how trends are basically realigning themselves despite what typical trading tells you. To me, that's a direct sign. The fact that you're riding overbought that long and you're completely, even the guy on NBC said it when he corrected the lady. He said it was over, so he said it's overbought, but he corrected her. She didn't know what she was talking about. That's some news for you. Don't ever trust the news. But even they saw it. It's been riding overbought for over 7, 8, 9 days, and it hasn't even shown any signs of retracement. And it just established a double doji in the last 3 days. So to me, Bitcoin's going to run, which at 41% dominance still has the ability to push the market up, and then Shido is just going to do what it's going to do. It's going to go on its own personal bull run because it was never part of any kind of bear market. It was never part of it. And then when the DEX comes out, Valhalla just showed you. All those people there that are watching this from the sidelines that are going to be in the know.
Yeah, don't think that I chose Apollo 13 for no fucking apparent reason. There's a couple reasons, right? First and foremost, you watch how that video portrays, right? And everyone, like, my favorite moment of imagery is the astronaut that supposedly had the measles that was unable to go. And he's the one that actually ends up saving everybody's life. But he's standing next to the Corvette and he's looking at the rocket. He's got his head kind of tilted down. He's got that feeling of remorse, right? I'm not on the rockets.
Right.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is every motherfucker that's sitting on the sideline that doesn't want to believe that, or is just too bullheaded to do the research. That's every motherfucker that's chasing green candles and pumping up bullshit shit tokens, thinking they're make millions, while the smart investors, the tech savvy investors, the people like myself, Shadow Queen, Arno, and every one of you watching this live AMA tonight are sitting on the bleachers because we're on the rockets. The guys out not on the rocket, they're across the coastline watching liftoff, going, damn it, god damn it, I could have been on the rocket, but I chose not to, and I missed a 1,000x plus potential.
I got some imagery of a different kind, but I don't think I can show it on national television. No, you.
Oh man, I tell you that. Yeah, dude. Stage 5 entertainment. Shido is fireworks in the making. It is, absolutely. We're gonna talk about something else here tonight too. So this is a partner that Shido has. We're gonna bring up. For those who don't know, we are gonna bring it up here tonight, and we're gonna talk about Cosmos. Boom, right here. So, for those who don't know what Cosmos is, welcome to Cosmos, the Internet of Blockchains. Cosmos is an ever-expanding ecosystem of interconnected apps and services built for a decentralized future. Again, when Bjorn and the dev team choose partners with this project, they don't do so haphazardly, right? i.e., let me take you back real quick. AWS, Antier Solutions, Moralis, Integro, Mercurio, CoinMarketCap, Solulab, Hacking, probably, in my opinion, the best audit company, hands down, in crypto, especially when it comes to security. And that's exactly what we're dealing with, is security, security, security. So thank God it's not anything other than hacking. You got Tendermint, and now we've added Cosmos to this. Enter a new universe of connected services. Cosmos apps and services connect using IBC. There's that IBC protocol again. Remember my tweet earlier when we talked about sharding and we talked about being able to basically multiply. Think of it like God, what was the Marvel character that delves in the multiverse and you can see like 10,000 multiverses at once? That's fucking Shido Chain, right? Like there's 10,000 multiverse Shido chains at one time, all doing infinite TPS. It is literally the holy grail of crypto.
But I think the best way to look at it is it allows you to convey transactions while not having
Thank
to
you.
make the end all be all transaction at that time.
Correct.
It allows
So,
it allows you to scale up and confirm transactions while handling new transactions at the same time. You get rid of the consensus issue that David Schwartz. If you want to learn about consensus, look up David Schwartz. Listen to any of his lectures about consensus and crypto. You'll learn a lot. To put in simplest terms, you're taking the pressure off and you're allowing new channels to flow through and not having to be so you're not hunkered down to that one line to get your transactions confirmed. You're creating new lines for confirmation. That's all you're really doing, in a sense.
yeah, no, exactly. I just want to throw here real quick. Enter the Cosmos Hub, the heart of the interchain. Serving as the economic center of Cosmos, the Cosmos Hub is a blockchain that provides vital services to the interchain, i.e. the inner workings of your blockchain. Marketplace, security aspects, custodian, keyword, router. There's so much that Cosmos partners with when building your blockchain solutions. And again, it further shows the clear decisions and the path of execution that Bjorn, and the dev team are making. There's no accidents here. There's no mistakes in choosing these partners that we have. I tell everyone over and over and over again, all roads to Shido Finance point to Binance. And I'm going to stand by that promise. Man, there's so many things that I wish we could talk about that we can't talk about. But what I can just put out there is one tweet that came from Bjorn as well. And again, he wanted me to relay to you that he says, and also do not forget to tell everyone live tonight that the centralized exchange listing that is coming will be an absolute game changer. He says, we will increase the liquidity base quite drastically. And he followed with saying it will be another Shido afterwards. So I don't know exactly what he means by that, other than maybe it's going to just explode. But this isn't... God damn it, man. I can't go further. What I can say is this exchange, you're going to go, damn, but this is not the best. When we say, and I tweeted this earlier when I said Shido has no interest in chasing 106 shit exchanges. We have no interest in tier 2, tier 3s. We are interested in the top 10. Those top 10. Those ones that are the prestigious exchanges. That's Binance. That's Crypto.com. That's KuCoin. That's Coinbase. That's Kraken. That's the exchanges that are proven, that have existed long enough that we know fundamentally are good for the crypto space. And what are they good for Shido? Well, they give you another way to exit if you want to sell outside of your Visa, MasterCard, and our fiat on and off ramps. But the biggest thing they offer is speculative buying and exposure, right? It doesn't guarantee you can have a flow of people buying on those exchanges. But what it does guarantee is speculation and awareness. And I will tell you one thing, one last point, and then I'm going to turn to you. One thing I will say, if you followed and you've listened, Bjorn has made it quite clear. He's made it quite clear that this token is going zero tax. Now, I want you to think about that and think about exchanges that don't want to list tokens that have a tax. Go do the research. Go put the pieces together. When I say, in my humble opinion, that all roads of Shido Finance will at some point lead to Binance, I firmly believe that. And man, that happens. The confidence, because Binance does not list shit tokens. We all know that. Crypto.com, Coinbase, they don't list shit tokens. You get listed on those, you've proven something. Arno, I pass it to you, brother.
I think that the main real takeaway and the main real get from that would be the being a preferred partner of those firms. of the Binances, of the KuCoins, of the Krakens. It's from the, I mean, listing a token on there is nice. I mean, but me personally, doesn't do much for me. I'm more about the exposure that it would bring from being a preferred listing of it. Because remember, you can get listed, but if you're a preferred lister, where they highlight your token, where you get slogans on their database, on their website, where they're talking, where they actually have dossiers about what your project is doing, and then people can go and see and read about you and know about what you're doing. I think that's the real big get. So much more than just having the token listed, because I still believe that decentralized finance is going to be the way of the future anyway, even with our token. But the big get is the exposure from people who still believe, because it's here. People believe in centralized exchanges. The big get is having our token being a preferred listing, not just oh, well, we're just in the rest of the batch. No, you're because we've all been on Binance. You've seen tokens that get that preferential treatment. You see them, they throw them in your face when you go to the website. They're thrown at you, and they have dossiers about their projects, and then they have little video spreads about. That's the big get to me.
No, I agree 100%. I agree 100% with what you're saying, man. And that it just goes back to decentralization is the way of crypto moving forward, right? And even CZ Binance said that there will be and again, all roads lead back to finance. Everything I see with this project, man, it almost, to me, it almost feels like CZ is on the phone with Bjorn, like, hey, so if you do this, you do this, and you do this, I also really like this, and yeah, you should definitely do that. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but like, god damn, dude, like this project is any tech nerd's wet dream, and you damn well know that CZ Binance is watching. You damn well know. Damn well know he is. So, with that being said, he made a tweet not too long ago, and that tweet said that there will come a day in the next 10 years that a decentralized exchange will be bigger than Binance. I wonder if he's foreshadowing the rise of Shadow.
I hope so.
Think about it, guys. Think about it.
I hope so. But it's bound to happen.
I mean, it's just,
at some
it's
point,
so goddamn bullish.
The old ways. Remember, centralized exchanges is nothing but a cryptocurrency version of stocks. We brought that mentality to the crypto. That's all it is. At some point, we're going to get down to the actual real principles of what crypto should be, and that is decentralized finance, liquidity providing, people buying tokens and then staking them, providing liquidity throughout the DeFi space for speculation on cryptocurrencies in real time where there is no central governing body. That is what cryptocurrency should be, and the ability to have your funds at the ready per your choice. That's what it should be. That's why Bitcoin was created way back in the day. That's why Ethereum was created, to have decentralized applications that run independently so they can go ahead and conduct business outside of the so-called quote-unquote corporate world that's been created over the last God knows how long, beginning of time. That's why this stuff is here. But for whatever reason, the first adopters of crypto, because they're your Peter Schiffs of the world, your old world thinkers who just bring that old school stock mentality, they created their own demise with FTX, with Mt. Gox back in the day. If you remember Mt. Gox, people, it should never have gotten to that point. In my opinion, it should never even been allowed to happen. But at some point, decentralized finance will take over centralized exchanges in terms of dearth of transactions, in terms of dearth of trading, and then in terms of preferredness. You're going to see it go from being, oh, I like exchanges because I can feel comfortable, I can get in and out. You're not going to have to worry about that because you're going to have on and off ramps for wallets. Shadow won't be the only one going forward, but it's going to be the one we have now. It won't be the only one forever, but it's going to be the one we have going forward now. And once that takes place, CZ Binance's prophecy will come true. I foresee it happening too.
Oh, I do, absolutely. Well, not just that though. Is we have first movers advantage in all aspects of this. We are the first crypto. We are the first decentralized crypto project to incorporate all of what's been in crypto for years into one easy platform to understand. One platform that billions of people can download with their phone and transact day to day. Just like you put so elegantly. Joe and Bob and Lisa at 7-Eleven can be trading Shido and cross-chain swapping while they're getting their freaking Slurpee at the gas station.
Right.
Ease of access has been realized. We've created a monster that you're not gonna be able to contain. You can't keep the lid on this beast. You just can't.
And to add to what I was saying before, the reason why I said Shadow wouldn't be the only one, you're going to have other wallets, have those on and off ramps to get us to that level, to have those myriad of options to get on board. Doesn't matter whether or not those wallets are as good as Shadow or not. It's the fact that they're on, and they can remember. We have a DEX that you can connect to with any wallet anywhere. If you have a wallet that you're accustomed to and you want to use it, that's okay. Connect to our DEX, conduct business. It all comes back to Shido, in my opinion. When I say other wallets will have on and off ramps, I mean that it's just another way to drive even more value into decentralized finance, thus going to the best DEXs to get your best prices. And right now, there's no better DEX out there that's going to hit the market than Shido.
No, there is no better DEX. You know, there's been many copycats of Pancake Swap and Uniswap, and they've tried to call themselves revolutionary. I'm sorry, you're not revolutionary. What revolutionary is when you bring second to second price action, limit orders that tie into that freaking a perpetual platform with 200x lending with deep liquidity providers that allow you to do things no other perpetual is letting you do. Period. Most perpetuals they stop at 100x. Shit, some of them stop at 50x. Why? Because they don't want to assume the risk of crazy ass investors doing 200x longs and shorts. Shido has secured confident enough liquidity providers to say, I have no issues with that. Let's do it. That is just insane to me. Then we haven't even talked about what's on the screen. It's coming too. This is coming by the end of the month, ladies and gentlemen. The Shido MasterCard and the bank is coming. You've got your own bank accounts inside your damn decentralized crypto wallet. A decentralized banking account in decentralized crypto. Yeah, you got a KYC for that. You have to KYC for it anyways. I don't care about that. What I care about is the fact that this thing rivals Crypto.com's card. It destroys Crypto.com's card. It's ease of access. You are staking inside the wallet. You're not staking your tokens to get your card on a centralized exchange. We always talk about not your keys, not your crypto. Well, you're not giving your keys to anybody. And you're getting your dessert at the same damn time as you're getting your first, second, third, and fourth course. And the Shido MasterCard, God, it is so bullish. So bullish, man. And KYB is done. Know your business is done. There's nothing further other than a few last back-end things that they're tweaking that needs to be done for this to come to the market. So this is coming. This has been confirmed to be coming by the end of this month. As long as everything's still on track, and that's the last I heard, by the end of January, Shido MasterCard will be live. So you're talking DEX is coming. We're in the height of a ridiculous recovery. Timing right around the launch of the DEX. MasterCard's coming at the end of the month. Catalyst after catalyst after catalyst. And then February rolls out Shido Chain. Shido Chain alpha testing is coming in February. You heard it here. I've talked to Bjorn about it. It may not be the first week or the second week, but it is absolutely coming in February.
Yep.
Alpha testing is already here. Think about that.
Forward to, man. I'm just looking forward to developers buying the token up. That's when we know. Well, the two major things I'm looking for is going to be major catalysts for the price, in my opinion. No, three really. The DEX obviously coming out, but when we get into the meat of Shido Chain, and we start getting in with the transactions, getting everything getting buffed up with the alpha test net and all that, and then we get devs getting their lion's share of the token. And then on the heels of all of this, with the wallet being integrated, fully fleshed out, with the DEX up to speed, having our burns up. This in conjunction with all of this and the unforeseen part of it with, the recovery going on in the market, I'm just excited for the next 6 months, man. The next 6 months in this project are going to be insane before we even get up to speed with when we get everything out pat. Just the implementation phase is going to be insane. This is why I'm saying that today's price is not going to be tomorrow's price. I mean, the token, in my opinion, to the average person is already expensive. I mean, you're talking about 50 million market cap. You're staring down at least, actually it will be more because now the token supply has gotten smaller. So you're staring down what, 1/10, 2/10 of a penny? That's 2 zeros and a 2, 2 zeros and 1, maybe 2 zeros and a 3. I mean, come on. That's nothing. That's right around the corner. I mean, we're right now at 3 zeros and a 1/7 bucking down. On my, I fear we should be at 3 zeros and a 4 probably pretty soon. Just established a doji pattern last month, and we've already seen the price rise from that. We've already matched our all-time. We exceeded our all-time high. We just have to go ahead and meet that, close out the month, or we can go ahead and exceed it this month, and then open up next month at a new high. There's so many catalysts right now in the short going that it doesn't even take in consideration what's going to be happening in that time in the next 4 to 6 months. This is why people say, I've said that if we get the wallet fully integrated and everything, I said a 10-cent price is not out of the question in the next 6 months. I don't guarantee anything, not financial advice, but based on what I'm saying, a 10-cent price is very doable.
It is very doable. And it's God damn, excuse me. It's crazy to think about that. But when you have a project that is just this bullish, that is doing what Shido's doing, I mean, it demands that. You can't. Let's go back to EOS, right? EOS did not deliver. It didn't fail. It didn't deliver, and it's $1.03. And all it was a blockchain. We have a decentralized wallet, use a MasterCard program, perpetual lending platform, decentralized exchange, and a layer one.
That's a great thing to be. I mean, I can't diminish. I mean, that's a Jesus. I mean, I wish I could have been a part of EOS at the beginning. I'm not gonna.
Don't get me wrong. We all do. But my point is the 5 utilities I just named off. They're not even 100% fully fleshed. And you've got update after update after update rolling out. You've got a dev team listening to every investor that says, hey, could you do this? This would make my life easier. I would switch if you would do this. Consider it done.
Also, just on price accumulation, keep in mind, EOS began on the Ethereum smart chain. So you had a blockchain project that began, like, we're gonna have projects that build their blockchains on our blockchain. Okay, people, understand that that's gonna be a thing. You're gonna have multiple projects. Like, I can name how many blockchains you had Golem, Phantom, Avalanche, Solana, EOS. Jesus, how many more were blockchain projects that began on the Ethereum blockchain? So many. And look at the price of Ethereum. Now, I'm not saying that Shadow's going to go to $1,500, but
hey, I was adding into that. You had Chronos. You also had BNB. BNB started on the Ethereum chain.
There's another BNB. Yeah, Binance Smart Chain, which is it's a cornerstone crypto. I mean, you can't talk about
on Ethereum. It started on fucking Ethereum. Fractionalization prices.
You can't talk about crypto without mentioning these.
No, you can't.
And what's going to happen is you're going to have all of these projects come out and they're going to do the same thing. You're going to have new cryptocurrencies spawn their legacies on ours. Just like we're spawning our legacy on the Binance Smart Chain, we spawn their legacy on the Ethereum blockchain. It's just a cyclical pattern. You know, the whole thing with this it boils down to this. It's a natural progression to increased value in the DeFi space. cryptocurrency is so undervalued. I mean, you're telling me, and I know people, you see numbers. I crunch a lot of numbers every day. I'm telling people right now, this market cap is only what 300 million more than it was in 2018 during the bear market of that year. That was from the run up from what Bitcoin had then. That was 2018, only 300 million differential. And we just got 100 million of that back over the last several days, people. Okay, we just got 100 billion of it back over the last several days. So we should be, in my opinion, around anywhere between 9 to 14 trillion market cap in this. And if we were allowed to just really just flow and have no bullshit with FTX, with any of the regulation crap, with all the bottlenecks of getting money in, if you were to open up the Middle Eastern markets and have them be able to flow freely, oh my God. Oh my God, forget money. We don't even need it. You'd be sitting somewhere around like at least 5 trillion alone just off of that. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. I mean, it's just where we are right now. God, man, you hear Bjorn tell you all the time. You even tweeted it last week. We are so early.
It's a joke. The market cap right now is a joke. It's a joke, man. 900 billion market cap in 2023. Fuck off. You had told we were just at 4.3 trillion.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? It's a joke, man.
I mean, this bear market has showed similarities of 2015 and 2018. It showed similarities in both fronts, and it's thrown punches, man. It has literally not disappointed. We'll put it that way.
But I think I think that this has more in common with 2015 because of the FTX thing and the Mt. Gox. See, 2015 had Mt. Gox. Know what I mean? FTX happened last year. So to me, it parallels 2015 because you had the bear market then, but you also had the illicit practices of centralized exchanges to go alongside of it to really put not just the sentimentality of crypto down, but also the viability of it down because of all these illegal practices. So I think this has more to common with 2015 because of the FTX scandal and the Mt. Gox scandal of 2015. They mirror each other. You know what I mean?
I do. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Merc Killing, welcome to the AMA, brother. Glad to have you here. No, you're spot on, man. And it's like everyone has said in our chat, pretty much all night tonight is the Bulls are done, man. They're tired of this bear market. They are tired of the bears. They are tired of the negativity. They are tired of this shit. It is time to let the Bulls run. And whether you want to open the pin or the Bulls open the pin, one way or another, the motherfucking Bulls are going to run. Get out of the way or stay in the way, and we'll run your ass over. But this market, it ain't going back to 17.5. It is not going back to 17.5.
Bring that Bitcoin chart back up again so we can reiterate this point because I feel the same way. I mean, these charts, what's going on in the DeFi and in crypto is not lying. Look at this, people. Look at how hot that is riding. Can you zoom? Do you have the overbought line? Can you show the RSI? The RSI line underneath the purple line.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Might have to wait for it to fresh on my screen. Hold on here.
You're good.
You have it down there with the RSI?
Yep, with your big orange circle.
No, the RSI is underneath the purple line. Did I capture that in the screenshot?
No, it might have been to the top. Are you talking about the one here on the top where you had it circled in red?
No, the RSI is at the bottom. It's the purple line. It's the purple.
No.
Oscillator.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, there it is. I got it. Okay, we're there. Yeah, we see it.
I'm talking about RSI. Look at that, people.
I got it.
There it is. That is 100% overbought territory for over 8 days. and yet it is trending. That is some rare shit. You don't see that very often, man. Look how straight that is.
Yep.
That shit going. Usually, when a token is being pumped and dumped, you have a bunch of squiggly little lines when you're going up. This thing's been riding overbought territory for 8-9 days. And even NBC, remember the NBC video even talked about it. Even they talked about it. Things riding hotter than a NASCAR on a 100th lap. Yet and still, it's pumping up higher, and the trend lines are moving up to match the spot price, which is a clear indicator that it's going to continue. Then look at the MACD underneath this. You have your ascending lines just on top of it. Your MACD lines on your ascending prices are chopsticks. I mean, I call it the chopstick. When you have chopsticks and they're perpendicular like that, that means you're going to run. They're not intersecting. They're running concurrently. That's what you want to see. They're not getting ready to intersect. They're just running concurrently. And then when you go up again, these are all the indicators I have, people. I use a lot of them. I don't mess around. I give myself every opportunity to get it, try to see what's going on. Go to the next one up in the yellow circle.
There you are.
That's your moving average support differential over the lifetime of Bitcoin. When you have a price movement, it squeezes down. That indicates that a downward trend would be coming, because usually when you have an uptrend, the differential squeezes downward. But when it begins to correct, it moves upward to meet the spot price. What do you people see at home? It is moving upward. Okay, despite being overbought to the freaking moon.
Yeah,
I
mean, there's no better way to put that. Yeah, here we are.
Right. The next indicator, please, if you will. Valhalla, my man.
There's
the average price of Bitcoin. As you can see, it is moving up to meet the spot price, to support its current price. It's moving up. That is the average price of Bitcoin over the lifespan up to this point. It's moving up. That is a clear bullish signal. Then you look at the double dojis that we've established over the last 4 days in between. You have your first one. That a doji, remember, a doji is a price indecision. It doesn't mean good or bad. You have to look at it based on where it's preceded it. And usually when you have a
hold up. Yo. Just on the height of that, we just got a $5,600 brand new holder, baby, right there. $5,600 just came in on BNB. Got himself. I want to use this as an example right here. So Nick C's shouted out. Good shout out, brother. When Arno's talking about the price squeeze, okay, you just dropped $5,600 and you got 30 million tokens. Now that's a hell of a position to be coming in right now with Shido. But $5,600 literally 3 weeks ago would have probably got you over 40 million tokens.
You said 3 weeks ago?
Crazy, bro.
You said 3 weeks ago?
Well, I would assume about 3 weeks ago, right? Would have bought him.
No, that would have got him about 50 million. 50 to 60.
50 million. 50 to 60 million.
Because the 600 would have bumped him up to about 60, yeah. You got to think back then you were talking about at least, that would have got about 60. So yeah, the price squeeze is already on.
The price squeeze is real, guys. This is happening right in front of you. Outside of that, though, real quick before Arno continues on this bullshit right here on Bitcoin, let's just mention the fact that 1899, there it is. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, guys. People aren't playing. People are paying attention.
Hey,
yep.
Put the shadow chart back up that I had. Go ahead and show that one. Let's talk about that again. Why not?
Let's talk about it. Here it is.
Fuck it.
Right. Take it away, brother. Take it away.
Shit. Again, this is the 1 month pattern. And this is all you need to see. If you can zoom in, my good man, on that doji on September, that epic doji that we established,
there it is.
Let me tell you, a 1 month doji candle, those are rare. That's a 1 month pattern where you have a total 30-day period of indecision of price. And I knew, I didn't listen. Nothing's ever for sure. But if you go down and you break down Shido at the incrementals on the daily, on the weekly, there's nothing but uptrend. Okay. And then when you put it against a monthly pattern like that, I was saying in the chat before, if anybody can, you can call, get the receipts on me. I was saying there's going to be a price breakout on Shido the very next month. And I said it would happen in the third week of this month, and it happened. And you guys see it, the proof's in the pudding. And we hit all-time high. Gandalf saw it. I saw it. Everybody saw it. It's there. All we have to do now is match that top from the previous month, exceed it, and open up clean. I think we should hit a price somewhere in the 4s next month. Somewhere in the 4s.
Well, and you think about it, right? You're starting to see, these a $5,600 buy.
Provided the DEX doesn't just doesn't go crazy. The DEX might just. This is all organic shit, people. This is all organic. I'm talking about here.
Organic. All organic.
This is all organic.
And but it's proven the point that people are paying attention. People are watching, right? The guy, right? The individual, lady, gentleman, whoever you are that you just bought $5,600 worth of Shido, welcome. You made a fucking fantastic decision. But the point here is this person did the research. They didn't just throw $6,000 into a crypto and say, hey, what's going to happen to my cash? No smart person throws that kind of money into a crypto without doing some level of research. This is somebody who's been watching, who's been listening, and who's been waiting for an entry. And let's be frank. Let's just be honest. This is not your best fucking entry. No offense to the person who bought, but you were buying at 3/01899. Now, where I will say this is your best entry is a double-edged sword. You're buying high, but your ass is buying before you're at 2 zeros. You're getting in while you still got an opportunity to get in, and that's what's going to start happening here. When the FOMO hits,
do I have to
see this tick to the 2 and the 3s? Oh boy!
Do I have to do the scale again? Do I have to do this price, the buying scale for the people at home? For the benefit of everyone.
Do it.
Listen, between the months of March and April and September is pure Shido price. September is sloppy seconds. Between the months of September and I want to say September, the first 2 weeks of September is sloppy seconds. After the first 2 weeks is thirsty thirds. That's where we're at right now. Everything after the first 2 weeks of September has been thirsty thirds. We're on the brink of getting to what I like to affectionately call filthy fourths. Okay? It's going to get really, really stretched, if you know what I mean. Not to get too graphic, but I think you know what I'm talking about. It's getting, you ain't going to really be feeling too much. All right? You'll be getting something, but it ain't going to be not nearly as much as you could have been. And then when it gets to filthy fourths, next is going to be fatal fifths. Fatal fifths, you're talking about buying half a penny, kid. Half a penny, damn near a whole penny. At that point, the rest of the scale ain't even really worth talking about. But I'll do it for the benefit of everybody else at home. You go from fatal fifths to sinful sixths to suicidal sevenths to hateful eighths, and then the granddaddy of them all. You're buying Shido at well over 50 cents. It's just nihilistic nights. You don't even care anymore. You're just buying it because you see it. You just lost all. Fuck it. It's a popular token. Everybody's talking about it. I don't even care anymore. I'm so nihilistic. I don't care. Just buy it. Hopefully you'll go get $10,000 because you haven't researched anything. You don't know shit.
I got one better for you. I got one more tier. We got one more tier.
What's after that?
We got narcissistic tense, baby. You
to rhyme. It's got to rhyme. You got to give a T. What's a good T? What's a good T?
Oh man,
I don't know, man. I think nihilistic notch is the last one. That's a good one. That's it. I mean, at that point, there's nothing more to be said. I mean, where are we going to stop this set, man? You're buying.
I don't know.
You're buying Shido at $25 a token now. What do you call that?
That's narcissistic tense right there, man. That shit don't need to rhyme because it don't make sense of why you're buying it. That's all there is to it.
Come on, man. We're at 50 cents. I mean, at that point, you're just fuck it. Please, just please.
At 50 cents, they're you with XRP, brother.
No, I was at 18 cents. At least I had the good fortune to say that. I never bought it at 50 cents. No, thank God for that.
Thank God for that, man. But no, straight up, guys. Like
sitting around with like 500 tokens. 500.
Thinking your ass about to be a multi-millionaire.
500 tokens, man.
Shit.
Get $10,000 price. Oh Lord, man.
But it just furthers the point, guys, to know that the scale is moving. You do not want to be in the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th position buying Shido. Bless your heart and your soul. You do not want to be that person.
Hey, look at Jimmy. Jimmy said tardy tenths. Damn.
Tenths. Yeah, I saw that.
Hey, that's the second one he hit me with because he came up with hateful eights. That was Jimmy's on hateful eights. He gave me that one, so he got tardy tenths. No, I don't think that's strong enough though, because at that point, man, it's a good sound, but fuck, I mean, after you get past 50 cent, bro, I mean, you ain't tardy at that point. Your ass is like you tardy is like now, like it should be. Is not like thirsty thirds would be tardy to me. You know?
Yeah, you done missed class.
Like, man,
you missed the short bus and you're running up the hill with your ice cream saying, hey.
Running around here buying Shido with $1.67. Your motherfucking ass is just on. You need to be, I don't know what to tell. God damn.
Getting spicy.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe it'll go to $500. I'll get 50 grand.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Well, man, you know we're encroaching that 10:20 time. I know for you it's 12:20 in the morning. So
hell yeah.
I want to wrap her up. Let's talk final thoughts. We've done a lot tonight, man. Before we wrap up, again, I want to bounce back to the Shido MasterCard. And just a couple things I want to point here, guys. If you have not got your shit in, get down here, get to Shido.io, click the MasterCard link at the very top of the website. It's right there under products, Shido MasterCard. It'll bring you to this page. Scroll down. All you're doing right now is putting yourself in the queue. You're not going to get an email back when you submit your email here. It's just going to put you in the queue. And when the card is launched or ready to be rolled out, it will send a mass email for you to apply and get your virtual card immediately, and then your physical card sent to you. So get to Shido.io. Titty tilted 10th. God damn, Devon. Interrupting me for that one.
Devon.
Shit.
I don't think we use that one, man. I don't think we after yesterday.
All I gotta say,
hold
on. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that one live. So if you were buying Shido at the 10th level, you're going home with this one right here. This is what you're winning. Please do not be that person. Do not be that person.
To me, that would be like anything beyond 50 cents at that point.
Don't be that person. I'm sorry if you have children. I turned it off quick. Don't be that person. You need it to be known. That's what you're going home with.
Like, anything beyond 90 is like buying it at like $5.45. You just coming in. Yeah, that's what I would say. Like,
Terrible. Man, YouTube is gonna I'm gonna get beat to hell with this AMA. Man, if you guys can't watch this tomorrow, it's because it probably got copyright strike to hell, and I got to do a bunch of apologizing and deleting before it'll be available to everybody. I hope that doesn't happen, but I'm expecting it.
All because you couldn't keep pixel tits under wraps. All because of that.
No, it's probably gonna have to do with the Apollo 13, but that's okay. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I thought they were gonna do it for pixel tits.
Pixel tits is all right. I think it's more the other shit. She might be the icing on the top though.
It's admissible.
So before you're good, Devon, you're good, man. Before we close it out, guys, again, if you have not, please go to this link. Get your stuff situated. Get submitted so that when the card rolls out, you can be in the front of the line. I want to see everybody get their Shido card. If you haven't had time, go check out the tiers. Real quick, we'll run through the tiers one more time so everyone kind of gets an idea of what you got to stake. Shido Bronze, you don't got to stake anything. It's a free card. Good to go. Shido Silver, you do have to stake 10 million Shido to get the silver card. Shido Platinum, you got to stake 20 million. Shido Gold, you got to stake 50 million. And Shido Diamond, you got to stake 200 million. Those time frames for Shido Silver is 30 days lockout. Shido Platinum is 60. Shido Gold is 90. And Shido Diamond is 120 days. So visit the website. Really dig into that. Go look through it. Super bullish. Make sure you get your Shido card. With that, let's hit final thoughts. Arno, I'm going to let you have it as always. And I'll finish it up, and we'll round this off for the night, sir.
Jeez, I'm just excited. I'm just excited for everything coming on. I mean, I really don't have any chicken noodle soup for the soul tonight, people. I'm just at this point, I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't know, if you've been watching these AMAs habitually, I don't know what else to tell you. So I'll pass it to you. I got nothing. It speaks for itself.
It does. It speaks for itself, but it's excitement, right? I think where I would end it with everybody is guys, get your positions, get them locked in, before this runs, before this gets parabolic. Because as you can see tonight, for the buys that have come in, just while we've been on the live, smart money is buying, smart money is accumulating. Smart money knows what's coming, and we've got a super bullish AMA on Thursday, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you're in that AMA. If you have questions, you can forward them directly to myself. Just tag me in Telegram. Say, hey, I'm sending you some questions for the AMA. I will take the mic. I will answer all your questions. I do it every week. Get them into my inbox. Get them prepped. That way I have time to get them all organized. And I will definitely make sure that Bjorn addresses any and all questions the community has. But get excited, because when the DEX goes mainnet, that's what everyone's waiting for, right? Like, yes, it's live, but it's on testnet. Everyone wants it to be officially rolled out. They want it on mainnet. When mainnet hits, I think we're going to see something crazy happen. And it's going to be really, really cool to be a part of. So that's really all I got for everybody, man. It's just get excited. You are on the precipice of change. Shido is doing all the right things. It's got all the right partnerships. It's making all the right plays. And I really don't have anything that I am concerned with. I'm thankful to be a part of it. I'm thankful to be here for the run, and for the life-changing opportunities that it's going to present to all of us here, in the next 6 to 12 months. It's going to be insane. So it's going to be a rocket ship that I hope you all stay on. Hold your bags. Don't sell your positions. Don't sell yourself short. Add to it DCA if you feel you need to buy more. Make sure that you're making a positive impact on your price. If you're only going to throw $100, wait till you can throw $500 or $600. Make a positive impact on your price. Get a substantial position, but do it before this rocket takes off, because I'm telling you, when this thing takes to the 3 and the 4s, this shit's going to go viral. People are going to FOMO in, and those of us that bought in early, that were the smart investors that did the right thing and held their bags, you're going to get rewarded. So, Arno, anything you want to add before we close it out, sir?
All right, I'll contribute if I must. I want to talk about.
Tribute, sir.
because it's so obvious, but I'll do it anyway for the benefit of those watching. I want to talk about just where I believe we're in a state of recovery. Shido is in the middle of that. It's never been exposed to a bear market. Yes, we are a cryptocurrency, but all cryptocurrencies launch at different points. When this recovery is an opportunity that I feel is very, very obviously Bjorn didn't plan this, or maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe he planned to launch at the peak end or the peak end of a bear market, and then launch his creative machine. Whatever his plan is, all I know is that this token is 100% perfectly positioned to reap extraordinary revenues going forward for many, many months and really years to come by virtue of its utility, as well as its position of never being part of a bear market. Bitcoin's on the warpath, people. You've seen the charts I've showed you. You could take that as a grain of salt, take it as, look at it, not financial advice. I think I'm right. Okay, I think I'm right. And when this thing gets up to speed, we start bearing down that $30,000 price, and we're back at around maybe $2.5 trillion market cap. You are going to see a level of FOMO in this market wide, that you haven't seen probably since 2018 during that run. We got to go to the recovery first, obviously, but that recovery is going to come really quickly, back to 4 trillion, and then we're just going to explode. And then Shido is going to be in the middle of all that, having never experienced any bear market activity. There's nobody in Shido talking about, oh, my bag's down by 85%. Okay, there's nobody in Shido, and if they are, that's because they've been playing the game, wishing and washing and wishing and washing, and coming back in, buying low, or selling high, getting wrecked, coming back in from other projects, and then buying it at higher prices. That's the only way you would be wrecked in Shido, if you've been just doing that stupid shit. I'll call it what it is. It's stupid. It's just dumb. No disrespect to anybody's doing that, but it's stupid.
Heads up, we just had a $2,200 buy on Ethereum, so 1.4 ETH just came in as well. Just wanted to throw that out there.
There you go. There you go. There's that, as the great Biggie Smalls would say, that's another one.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining tonight. Arno, as always, thank you, man. I look forward to next week. We're going to have a lot of shit to talk about next week. We're going to be in the height of the launch of the DEX, and I honestly don't know what to expect.
Go ahead, man.
It's going to be wild. We're out of here for tonight, guys. Thank you for joining. Again, if you can't rewatch this broadcast, it will be live. I'll probably just have to do some editing, but that's okay. And we'll be back next Tuesday with another super bullish AMA. And I have a feeling we're going to have a lot to talk about. You guys have a wonderful night. Arda, go get some sleep. And I will catch all of you guys in the Telegram chat tomorrow.
Later, y'all.